Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome yourselves to your 6v6 Season 49 Premiership Qualifiers here on Essentials.tf. I am joined here tonight by J-Max Chill on production and Ben picks up later on the weekend. How are we feeling about this inaugural game, Ben?
It's been good. I'd normally say at the start of the season, I've become a bit of a cliche. At the start of the season, like, oh, it feels like ages ago since we were last here and since there was last ETF2L games going on. But what, it's been like a month, maybe a month and a half. It's been a really, really short turnaround this time. And yes, with all these teams wanting to make their way through the qualifiers, there's 6 teams in qualifiers this time. And again, I've never seen anything like that. There's normally only a couple of them trying to vie for it. But there's so many really strong teams making up this qualifier bracket because with lands coming up with a great circuit ahead of us here in 2025, everyone's keen to get back on the grind, and it's lovely to see.
Yeah, it feels like this is one of the most competitive, Premiership qualifiers we've seen for quite a while here. I can't really decide which teams I think are going to go through here, and these are two big names coming up here. We do have Sammakot here, running a bit of a different roster to when they did win Div 1 previously here, but still with a pretty strong roster going up against the quintessential Mac team on hashtag BIGBLOKESZN. How are you feeling about these teams, Ben?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Yeah, because this big bloke season, it's like if you squint your eyes a bit, it's almost the Skedder roster. And of course, these lot they played together for so long, but they've got a couple of new faces there. And one name I want to shout out is I want to shout out Sale, who's the new face on the block over on that big bloke season team. This time last year, they just finished their first season of ETF2L in Open. And they have just been on the grind for like a year straight, pretty much. Played a season of low, then won D2, and thinking, you know what, we'll make it into the big leagues and have a stab at Prem as well. So I really want to see how that works out because it's such a quick rise. You've seen it happen before a couple of times, but to go into such a stacked roster like Big Bloke Season straight away is pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, such a meteoric rise. I think this is what Mac likes to do quite a lot, right? He likes to sometimes get some of that young, unspotted talent and kind of build them up there. And talking about Mac, the past couple of seasons and the past LAN, we did see him on Medic, but he's finally come back to his roots and he has got himself onto Demo Man here. But there is certainly no downgrade in the Medic department as he's managed to pick up Piggles, the fan favorite Medic here. So it's just looking like such a strong roster that he's managed to cook up.
Yeah, I would say well, the alternative would have been Piggles on demo, which we have seen before, but maybe not quite what they're after here if they want to have a big long run into this season. But like they've still got this Sammakot team to beat past if they're going to go through, because the winner of this does get a spot, but the loser does have to go down into that lower bracket. The Sammakot team. So it's very changed, as you mentioned before, from the team that won Div 1. It's also very changed from the team that played Prem last season, picking up SNH, picking up Alov, picking up Roadster as well from Luby winning Div 1. It's a real mishmash of players. They've been trialing all sorts of people all through the off-season, and this just seems to be what's sticked. It's what's working for them. And at the end of the day, in these qualifiers, it just has to be one good game. And anyone on their day, at this level of TF2, they can turn up, and maybe for Sammakot, this is their chance.
Well, it has to be more than one good map here, as they do have to win a best 2 out of 3 here. Our first map of this being Metalworks. Not really one that you see all too often here, Ben. Are you a bit surprised to maybe see the Metalworks coming out, or do you think this is maybe Sammakot, the slight underdogs, coming out here and trying to pick a map that BIGBLOKESZN is not going to be favoring?
Yeah, we saw it a couple of times these teams last season picking like a rogue Metalworks battle. Yeah, like you say, picking it as a first map, it means that's telling me they've got something to cook up on this. They've been working at home, it's been going well in scrims, then they're thinking, you know what, we don't want to go for something a bit more default. Like we see here, Big Bloke Season, they're picking Process. Everyone plays Process. Everyone can play Process in their sleep at this level of TF2. But Metalworks, yeah, it's something, it's a bit more rogue, a bit more unusual, and maybe that's where Sammakot think they've got the best chance of maybe catching Big Bloke Season out.
Yeah, I think so. As we are about to go underway, just quickly run over the rosters here. On the side of Sammakot is Alov, SNH, Sylves, Ruttershire on Soldiers, Derpy Hooves on Demo Man, and Robert finishing out on Medic. And then Big Bloke Season will be Sale and Geordie on the Scouts, Bloke and Warps returning on the Soldiers, Mac on Demo Man, and Piggles rounding out that final roster here. As the teams do ready up, we are ready to go live to our first game of the ETF2L 6v6 Season 49 Premiership Qualifiers.
Yeah, here we go, all to play for, an automatic qualification spot into the season on the line, and the loser having to do it the hard way in that lower bracket later on this week as the rollout's already underway. Mac and Derpy Hughes just scoping each other out for a moment. Warp going for an attempt at a fast rollout. They decide, you know, we're going to cut it short, not going to try and go all too aggressive onto that red demo as these teams group towards this red front on the right hand side. Silver's going all the way deep behind two. This will get a little bit messy. Big rocks from left too.
Yeah, finds his way straight into Alov. That's the pocket scout down. And it just means that Robert has to leave here. Actually, no, they look like they want to fight. They have a rebomb in. They got a pick onto Mac, and they're chasing it all the way to Alov. But Silv's down. This gives them an opportunity to come back on BIGBLOKESZN here. We'll see what they do. They come in through this main door, checking these traps, making that scout out. That's a big mistake from SNH there, getting caught out, trying to find warps. And it looks like this should be the mid going toward BIGBLOKESZN.
Yeah, well, the mid goes to be a BIGBLOKESZN, but there's a real scare there. Silvs goes all the way behind Valley at the start of the mid, and then comes in from behind into lobby and just completely blindsides Mac, just waddles into him and just gets a couple of good rockets off, gets the demo man kill. But like you say, it's the scouts in the end that's the difference. SNH caught out of position, Geordie picking up 2 late frags in that fight, and that means midpoint is going to go in the way of the blue. But the spam war continues, all the players up on the defending side. This might slow down into a bit of a sack game.
Yeah, silver lining is your medic doesn't live here, which means the sacks should be going on towards this valley area. They're just trying to find any space they possibly can. Soldier does go in here. It is Bloke trying to find his way forward here. Doesn't get too much damage, but managed to live. The other soldier fell so low there, but they both live. Sills not taking it too aggressive, just backing out a little bit back to his team. And now they're just going to have to reset things, have a little chat about what they want to do here. I feel like the only way is really through Valley, right, to get these sacks going. It's so hard to get anything through House.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like we just saw them do there, they're just sort of poking, they're seeing what they can get away with, they're seeing how deep they can go. But yeah, like Metalworks on the second point, yeah, a lot of it is going to come with that big, high right-hand side wall as you're coming into the Valley. We saw Bloke have a go for just there. We've got Warped potentially having a look at it too, but the rest of this combo that they're just trying to bully their way in. But actually, Derpy Hughes takes a lot of damage. Maybe that's enough they can push off as they're having to back up a little bit here on the red side. No, it doesn't look too much so far.
It looks like there is a bomb missing in here, though. Rotisha goes down, but Bloke will not find the final rocket onto Robert. 40 HP there, but really good attempt, but they're still fighting dirty. Geordie does not manage to get anything with that, and they need to back out as Warp also goes down. It's crumbling around them here on BIGBLOKESZN.
So many players, losing both soldiers. Great hold on there from Robert. I thought he was doomed over there in the shutter, but gets out alive and gets out with plenty of the players intact too as they're able to get onto this middle point. Ubercharge traded out, Sail the one walking in into Alov, but not too much flashing from either of these two teams, and Pickles just decided, you know what, we have to get out of here. We have to run because these spawners are not quite fast enough for them to get into position. They are maybe looking to fight onto this mid, but the point, that mid point's flipping over to the red very, very soon. How long can BIGBLOKESZN even fight this for?
Yeah, there's a lot of high ground taken here as well. They're really going to have to get a really good opening pick to get in here. So many rockets onto Robert by Bloke, and he does finally go down for Warp there, so that's no medic here. They need to make sure Pickles escapes him. It doesn't look like anyone really in position to contest that medic here, but leaving Valleyway, this is the slow way. Can a soldier get behind? He is in position. It is 1 in, it is 2 in. He beats his rockets. He can't
the 2 scouts though as well.
Onto Mac.
The 2 scouts are in. It's 2v1. Sail has the world against him now and does not manage to get the kill. SNH Alov between them managed to clean up that flank. Yes, there was the bomb from Roadshow. That came in and it just used the end of those last couple of clips on those remaining players in that valley. And both scouts coming in behind is the killing dagger to the heart of the blue team. And Pickles in a long, long respawn. Robert's going to have a pretty healthy advantage, roughly 30%. Definitely pushable. Definitely workable as the red team, they're going to get themselves up. Sammakot getting themselves ready to stage a last push. It's going to be quick, but they have time to work with.
Yeah, I think if they miscount slightly here, they might think it's even a little bit more than they have. The medic of Robert didn't heal for 12 seconds. It told us in the STB stats there, so they might think it's a little more here, but we'll see as the Uber is coming up. Sail is on this left-hand side from the pusher's direction, so if they decide to go for that, it might be Doom, but it looks like it's going to be main here.
Getting ready to go. Never mind, they do walk straight into the pyro, and Sale has completely denied the entire Uber. Robert launched into the sky, completely away from the rest of the team, and the bombs come in though regardless. Sills rush it in, trying to damage behind this point. Both blue soldiers down. Pickles in a lot of danger behind that point, having to surf away towards the spawn door. How long can the blue team not use their Uber for? And eventually, they don't even use it at all because the sammakot team just managed to get in and get on the point. Fabulous work, despite honestly the Uber just falling apart. The rest of the team get in, get those 2 soldier frags and get themselves on the board. Sammakot taking round number 1.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise here, maybe. The underdogs coming out swinging here. Took really good control of the flank early as well, and then managed to get held back up, and it was really nice bombs. 95% on Pickles there. He just couldn't build that final 30% to keep themselves in that round. However, it's still all to play for. There's still 25 minutes in here, and we'll see how they want to mix things up coming to the second mid.
So Warp there have a go at that fast rollout, what we call the Bruiser rollout. Did not quite manage to land it, and that means that Derby Hoops is able to stay alive for a bit longer there, but Robert is not, getting absolutely deleted there by the spam by Mac across the point. Now with heal advantage in a 3v4, it's still not exactly game over here for sammakot, as actually only 2 players surviving, just the roaming soldier and medic. Warped getting absolutely launched around here, run down by the scout and soldier. SNH is going to be running forward. I don't think Pickles gets out here unless there's a miracle to be worked. SNH straight, it does not miss those. And again, we're in the same position. Pickles taken down very, very late by the scouts. And again, it's going to be sammakot capping up mid, capping up second. And they have a go at another round here.
And this time they have even more advantage. So I don't think they're going to need to worry too much about Pickles getting that Uber here. And if they can kind of do exactly what they did last round and get some early control on that push, even if the Uber doesn't do a whole lot, they might be in a great position. Mac wants to contest this before they get Uber. This is maybe going to work. They're on 70% here. They can just run away. They lose
Massive
2
damage
for it, though. Yeah, this is good for them here. They need to make sure these soldiers don't get in do too much, though. They are taking players down 1 by 1, but it looks like Robert should get out of this one alive. But that is such a Mac play there to just contest that on the tiniest margins.
That's a genius play, and sammakot did not expect that at all. And now their situation is looking really, really dire. They've had to use Uber just to hang on to the middle point, and that's about it. They've not got any kills with this Uber. Pickles 75% himself, and now the re-aggression can come in. Big Bloke Season straight back into the round, and it was like you say, that call just to go for that aggression. Great work by the explosive classes there to clear out that second point on Uber Disad. Fantastic confidence, and they're reaping the rewards. They can walk forward, 60% ads, they can go.
Yeah, this is looking like a coast-to-coast adventure here as they are getting in through this valley area. Soldiers trying to get in and get some damage, but not really able to get much. Mac, though, does go down. That is a bit of a crucial piece to your puzzle here, as Robert already on 80%. They've been building brilliantly here on the side of sammakot.
Yeah, absolutely, but I guess with Demoman down, it means it's going to slow any sort of proceedings forward, but Sylv's trading out means there's not any potential push for a resack, but actually the sacks, these 2 soldiers flying in, Warp landing very, very deep, taken down by the gun as Bloke. Just lands back, fades it, and goes back out into low. May as well have a go with no demo. It's not like they were going to be able to play too much of a long spam game there, but I like it, you know, just before the gun's getting built, try and get in, and try and make the advantage count.
Yeah, absolutely nothing to lose from going for that sack there. We will see what they want to do. It does seem like Warp's bring out some funny business here. He's on the man treads, but they have a sniper of Alov to contest with as they come in here. We'll see if he can ring out some headshots true here. Otherwise, it might be an absolutely massive sack here from Warp. He's going to take no sentry knockback damage.
Yeah, of all the maps to try the man treads on, this is the one we see it the most. As we've seen Bloke already going in Warp, bombing over the top. The man treads bomb landing straight in on top of the combo. Gets the kill onto the engineer, which, to be quite honest, was not really the kill they were after there. They don't get a gun either, and Alov hits the snipe shot onto Mac as well in the transition, and now this is actually just crumbling completely. Oh, the Big Bloke Season side, they might have to back out even further as Derby Hooves, Sills all ready to take over this second point, and there's Sale getting caught too. This is going to be a leave.
Yeah, it has to be. The second scout might go down as well. He does. Nice bomb from Sills to follow up on that Derby Hooves and Rochester damage here. Losing both your scouts here means you can't contest high ground as they come into mid through this lower area. Mac wants to stay close and contest as we saw him previously doing. It just makes so much time. This is actually such a smart play by Mac here. He knows the limits. He knows how close he can play. And it just has made the rest of them on sammakot had to back up. Once again, Mac using, you know, that aggression that we don't always see from demo men. Because, you know, they want to keep their lives. So he's using it very, very well so far. I need to make sure he doesn't get caught out. However, they are looking for a sack here. BIGBLOKESZN.
Yeah, last time it didn't go all too well. They tried to bomb it and it got cleaned up completely. This time, keeping walked over towards the house. It looks like to be Bloke who's going to go in, if anyone. Just that little jump over towards the fence, clears out some space over towards the point. Fights on to Russia there and actually gets him very, very weak, but Bloke is actually the one who's going to fall in that exchange, and that just means BIGBLOKESZN have to back up, have to wait, and have to get their spawners in play. But yeah, good attempt. I just think like with the second soldier in house, like it's so hard to follow up on that space unless your demo is going to go huge. It's a tough way to do it.
It is, but it's sometimes just hard to make this push happen here. I don't know, I kind of liked when they just went super aggressive, right? They got Bloke in super deep. It seemed like it was working better, getting Robert down to quite low HP, but you kind of feel like you need to take that space over the left-hand side to at least take some eyes. Otherwise, you don't really get too much done on the refight there. If you don't get anything, it's much easier to kind of wipe down a couple of players. However, see if they change anything up here. Looks like they are just taking that left-hand side aggression here, trying to see if they can get any initial damage onto players. Make a bomb a little bit easier for Bloke when he does go in here eventually.
Yeah, it's just been getting spammed out quite well. Rocher and Derby Hooves doing a great job of just keeping tabs on this aggression, making sure that there's no high bomb going to land over towards Robert, no big damage coming into Rocher or onto Derby Hooves either. And again, they waddle forward. Mac going a lot further forward this time, trying to get some spam up towards this combo that's playing out in front of the shutter. And a lot of rockets and stickies do land, but they're all spread out so much. Everyone's able to heal back up just in time. Orbs actually getting caught in the house as Bloke bombs in. It's the real sack and only gets one rocket off. So again, it's so well held from sammakot.
Yeah, they've really got this hold down, to be honest. They are rotating that damage really well, is what I've been noticing between Derby Hooves and Rotisha. There's one, coming in, doing some stun damage, going back and getting that kill, and then instantly coming back. But that doesn't matter, and there's a trade coming out, but they use so much later here on the Blokes. It's just a tragic Uber. They've got one scout in behind, but Alov not able to find that kill onto Jordy, and they had to back all the way up with one scout down. That makes the job of the sacking soldier a whole lot easier. And
especially when they're able to get all this space for 3-2, or Sylvs in deep as well. They're trying to get the damage onto Piggles, and Piggles gets caught out in the back line regardless. So, and the sack doesn't work onto Robert. Honestly, sammakot played to absolute perfection. They're getting the players in behind. Big work again from Sylvs, and that's not the first time we've seen this. Sylvs just getting in and just catching everyone off guard. Like you say, I was excited with you. I was thinking, they can fly in, and yeah, Jordy does the cleanup. So maybe it isn't all sunshine and roses for sammakot after all.
No, it absolutely isn't. That was a long and extended fight. We thought, oh, Medic's dead. It's basically over now. They're just going to bunker and chill.
Medic had two players dead for it as well. It was...
Yeah. Not great overall here. And it is going to be the advantage to Piggles as well here. So they finally get this opportunity to push last on an advantage push here if they start taking it fast. Again, about 30 Uber advantage. Sometimes doesn't feel pushable. However, we have seen sammakot do it successfully already. Oh, Alov gets Bloke instantly. That's a nice opening pick there. Now he gets to go back to spawn, play a little more passive, because they might still come in here.
Yeah, it does slow things down a bit. Maybe they do decide to just go regardless, just having a soldier down. You kind of want to try it, right? You don't get many options with Uber Ad into Metalworks last. It looks like they are grouping up, getting ready to go in through main this time. Matt going to be one jumping through straight away, getting some stickies over towards that gun, which is taken down, but Robert, 90% on that Uber. That's the number we should all be looking at right now. Sylvs bombing away, is taken down. Warp bombing in deep, but the heavy SNH doing great work, blocking everything up, is taken down eventually now. Alov against Jordy is... Yeah, going to get the kill onto Jordy, but the soldiers and the scouts, now they can start pushing in. Alov's got a lot on his plate here actually to hang on to this point, and never mind. The repush is there, and the spawning soldier Bloke comes in to do the deed.
Yeah, really good to manage to get the medic out. They just dropped so many players during that. And yeah, as you said, it was Bloke, the spawner, coming in that eventually did turn the tide of that battle. So now we're looking at a 1-1, and it's been a really close affair overall. We've been praising a lot of the side of sammakot because they've kind of been playing a little bit better than I think we may have initially predicted here. They definitely have it in them. They've won the last two mid fights, and they'll be definitely looking for a third one here and see if they can convert it to a round.
Absolutely. We've got a stock standard one again. Warp not going for the speed shot this time. Well, last time we saw Robert getting caught very, very early in this mid, and it was sort of salvaged by some late collapses over towards the retreating Big Bloke season players. This time, slower for both these teams. Can be sailing as Derby Hooves on the points so far. Derby Hooves coming off worse in that exchange. But this is more that this sort of what we expect from Metalworks at this day and age, right? It's a bit of a slow burn, a bit of a poke, but Silver's actually going in a bit deep there onto enemy connector, and that's the punishment if it's a slow mid like that. One person goes further forward than everyone else and gets caught out and pays the price.
Yeah, he just leaves his own territory, right? And as soon as that happens, you're just inviting yourself to be focused. And this is kind of why those slow mids work, is because you can kind of focus a player down and just get that pick one by one here. I feel like Still just gave them a golden ticket there to the chocolate factory. And look at this, they're getting so aggressive, so much spam, so much damage. Warped went in for a sack, unable to get anything. It's instant retreat here on the side of Big Bloke season.
Yeah, so we've seen these go very, very wrong before. When they lose one soldier, it sort of turns, one soldier turns into two soldiers and a scout, and players start bleeding. So yeah, I completely respect the decision. Get yourselves out, get yourselves set up on mid. You can always just retake the space in towards house and in towards alley once more. As they got their spawner back now, can maybe start doing it just that. There's plenty of time to work with, just under half the game still to be played, and plenty of time with this round reset as well. 4 minutes left. The score's still tied. There's no rush whatsoever for the Big Bloke season team. They can wait for the perfect storm, or they decide to push into the second point.
I was going to say, now's the question, will they do anything different? It looks like so far the answer is an astounding no here. Loads of spam onto Bloke there. He takes a rocket, takes a sticky, and then eventually goes down to that pistol of Alof. Silves is coming in deep, trying to get something, but they've already backed away far quicker than he could even try to get in here. So resetting things once more. Ben, if you were a Prem player here, what would your call be? What do you think they got to switch up? Because obviously this spam onto left side just doesn't seem to be working, and even when they send him Warped to go for that sack with the eyes taken off of him, they're still not able to get anything. Do you think they just need to go for a double?
Yeah, I'm almost thinking at some point that you've got to try it, haven't you? Even just having like Bloke do that exact same bomb and then Warp goes high, because Mac just isn't able to get in deep enough, and yeah, one soldier going in, all eyes on Bloke, and yeah, 300 HP turns into 0 very, very quickly when there's 6 people shooting at them. So I don't like what they're going for. It looks like it's going to be exactly the same setup again. Warped over towards the house, Shorty underneath, and then Bloke, Mac, and Sail, the damage classes over towards the alley, just trying to find a way in, trying to find some way of getting, probably I'm guessing Derby Hughes has to be the target here as the player of interest furthest right on this point, but Bloke bombs in again and just getting spammed at the height. It feels like sort of banging their head into the wall a bit here. It's the same bomb every time. Maybe it's been working wonders for them in scrims, and maybe they're thinking, you know what, eventually it's going to go perfect and we're going to find that one stray kill, but I haven't seen it yet this game.
Hey, 17th time lucky. That's what they say, right? I know I'm like, they're going to do something different. They're going to change it up here, but it doesn't look all that promising so far here. That's a more deep bomb this time, but look how focused he gets instantly. They take down Mac as well here. Nice stickies were hidden from Derby, who's chasing straight under. With these two players down here, they might get to get another pick. Yeah, Derby is just doing so much along with his soldiers here, but they managed to somehow back out without losing another casualty, but they have to give up mid here.
And they'll commit even harder though, and the big bomb comes in, won't take it down to sticks of Derby Hooves, and the aggression does not stop. Forward spawns coming up on 2 of these players is going to be absolutely crucial in terms of hanging on to this second point. But that turn of pace from Sammakot was great to see. Honestly, Piggle was lucky to get out with his life there. Great movement, but going down to about 12 HP just because of the aggression from these explosive classes from Sammakot, and now the momentum's with them. They're going to have to slow things down now though, because they've got 6 players up on the enemy side, but they're deciding, you know what, double sack straight in, all the way forward, all the way into Piggles, and a force comes out instantly. We've seen Big Bloke season, it took them 10 minutes to get a sack like that going. Sammakot do it the first time of asking.
Yeah, they have to be careful now because they're already starting a little bit of aggression from the houses and from Valley here on the side of the Blokes here. Here's Warp jumping in deep, looking for that scout pick. He will manage to get onto SNA. The Uber is full, but it's Pickles going down here. So many players in front and behind, though. There's no way Robert lives this.
absolute carnage. Players all over the place. Robert living so far. No, you cannot live. Okay, eventually it happens. Surely it was a matter of time. But the longer Robert lives, the more ammo is expended right on Roberts, the more chance these final players have at sweeping things up. Alov jumps in and gets hit by 3 projectiles simultaneously on the way in. That was not going to last too long. And eventually, as the dust finally settles on that fight, BIGBLOKESZN come out on top, but it did not look like it was going to be that way for the most of that that skirmish. Robert just being disconnected in the Uber, and it was so close to falling apart for BIGBLOKESZN there.
I mean, it was literally like 2 players behind, 3 players in front, and they just didn't know who to go for. There was no one who was really connected to Uber other than the one scout. And yeah, after that medic pick, it was just too much of a skirmish. And as you said, they haven't come out on top, gotten that midpoint back here, but now they're kind of on their least favorite point so far. However, instantly going to take down SNH. It does mean that they have to run it straight back to last on the side of sammakot here. We'll see if they want to go in for this drive-by. It looks like Mac trying to take this left side main, instantly looking for something here with this soldier bombing round as well. Looking like they're getting a lot of space. 95% Uber on Robert here, should get in time.
Yeah, but they want to be using it all. They actually get forced out, and now Piggles, Mac, the rest of this combo might just want to try and get out with their Uber charge. And Piggles, 7 HP, hangs onto the Uber for now, but actually drops eventually. SNH comes in. I thought for a moment we were going to have a Piggles masterclass there, getting out the 7 HP. Did not quite happen, because to be quite honest, the entire rest of the team died. So there was on 7 HP, not got too long of a life expectancy there. But I thought the plan was there, right? Get in, force Robert, and get out with Piggles. But I think that the with Piggles bit was what went awry, because yeah, not any players to help the escape.
Yeah, the scouts just got collapsed on main. Piggles tried to leave on that left-hand side, and his scouts were kind of caught in main with a bomb. And then SNH just kind of followed up, and both those scouts down. It's very hard for your medic to get out here, but look at this. They are aggressing once again on BIGBLOKESZN, and it's worked so well the past couple times. Why not do it again? Yeah, Robert going down there was so close to Uber as well. This is a bit of a tragedy. They have no heals, so there's nowhere they can really contest into these leading players.
And they've also got Bloke's gone all the way deep behind. Oh, if Bloke gets a kill, this is very, very unfortunate for the rest of the sammakot team. SNH going to be trying to clean this up, but yeah, Bloke taken down finally in-house. Took a lot of players weak on the way, so could have been a heck of a lot worse there for sammakot. But as I say, could be a lot worse. It isn't great to begin with, really. It's 100% disad almost. Piggles up ready with the Uber. Bloke's going to be a late spawner, which is unfortunate for the BIGBLOKESZN side. But again, they don't really care. They're happy to push in 5v6 and just get a really good Uber going. It seems like now they're getting ready to walk in from the house. Mac coming in with Uber, they want to go.
Mac failed his jump in, still doing good damage, taken down low. We'll get that reflash from Piggles, luckily, but 0 picks thus far on this push. Seals taken down scarily low here, will be the only casualty of this whole push. And the aggressors also nearly died during that, scarily. However, now the Ubers have flip-flopped. It is going to be the side of sammakot playing the advantage here, and we'll see how they want to play it. Looks like they're going to take it from house as well. There's Durfy, who's getting used on, successfully hits the jump, and can he keep the scout? No, he can't, unfortunately. There's also one player behind they're going to be a little bit careful for. It is Walt. He hits the shots onto SNH. Will be followed up by Rottershot, but losing your scout there is a little bit scary when the Uber is coming out from the side.
That's a big kill.
Belows pretty soon, yeah.
That's actually like, that's a big kill, because SNH, if an extra scout up, you're thinking maybe sammakot, you could even think about maybe taking the fight to BIGBLOKESZN, maybe start pressuring, trying to get that force out of Piggles, but with the player down themselves, are going to have to just, we're just in the flip-flop at this point, right? They're going to have to just sit back, try and tank the Uber as best as they can. Robert is actually creeping up towards his own Uber, up at 70%. To play it up in the Batman position, they're going to try and jump away and try and collapse on something on this Uber. The Uber comes in, hits nothing in the way of frags, but a lot in the way of space, as we've seen with plenty of these so far in this flip-flop. But Robert, 95%. This is it might be where the flip-flop ends, because this is a big advantage, and it's a big advantage sammakot they want to use.
Yeah, absolutely, but they might not want to, because they know this will take them on to second if they are quick enough, so they're trying to take it.
Gonna have to!
But Robert drops to blow!
Massive
no, that's absolutely tragic. This is completely changing the tide here. They tried to get greedy. They tried to go for something, you know, a little bit cheeky and trying not to use when getting in there. However, it's to their detriment as Bloke in chat, 200 kgs down on you, big. And that is exactly what happened.
Really great bomb, perfectly synced up rockets, and just wasn't, they weren't aware, or they weren't aware of the damage potential that bomber had. Fantastic work from BIGBLOKESZN there on that counter aggression, able to get in, and not only have they stifled the attempts at sammakot to get onto that midpoint, they're now going to have a big advantage of their own into last. They're going to have to wait for one of their scouts for a moment, but Robert's only at 50%. Pickles has, there's a gun getting set up, very passive so far. There's a sniper as well to deal with the Uber charge coming in already. BIGBLOKESZN, they want it.
Yeah, they are rushing straight to that point, get the sentry gun down early, bombs come in, and they are so deep. Robert going down there, so no heals, and it's just Sail jumping onto that point. So there was a missing patch of stickies, and is able to cap things off to make it a 2-1 on the back of a bit of a hero play coming out from their left there, dropping Robert. This has been so back and forth of a game. These teams have been so close in pace, but only 5 minutes remaining here. Can BIGBLOKESZN slow things down here? Can they win this first map of Metalworks? This was sammakot's pick as well. It could be a tragedy before the game's even started. However, we'll have to see going on to this 4th mid.
Yeah, absolutely. Last time it was a slow burn from both these teams, and one frag over onto Silver was all that really was a difference maker. This time it's a bit of a more aggressive one from Silver, trying to go in all the way behind, but he's met a scout and a soldier there. An unfortunate combo to be walking into as you're trying to land in behind. SNH going in though as well. He's going to try and be a nuisance underneath, but with a beamed up scout actually wins the fight against Jordy before being traded out. And 2 for 2 space the way of sammakot. They're actually not too disappointed with this at all. They might be able to hang on to mid.
Yeah, this is not a bad place to be here with a scout on high ground, making things ever so more difficult to sell. Trying to have something to say about this is he's actually kind of turned the tides a little bit, actually. He's completely taken over the high ground. Looks like a trade is going to come out here. Warp has to jump in to get it, however. Although we'll get out with his life, there's no real focus on him. Both teams going to be settling here on this mid, and it's looking good here for the side of sammakot. They have that high ground. They need to spam down these players, but they don't want to leave here. On the side of BIGBLOKESZN, it takes so much for them to finally run back the second.
Honestly, I'm impressed that they even managed to get back onto the midpoint after they'd lost all high ground and they were literally struggling with the players, but now the double bomb in and straight in onto Pickles. Big work. Again, this double soldier on Sills and Roche, this seems to be the way they're going for it, right? There's every time in these even Uber stalemates in second, they're like, you know what, we'll play it the quick way, we'll go in, get that kill on the enemy medic at the cost of 2 soldiers, but this time it wasn't just 2 soldiers, it was 2 soldiers and a scout, SNH falling 2, which not great in the terms of refighting this quickly, but it is going to be a big advantage, and these spawners are all going to be coming up on the second point forward spawn, so there is chance for a quick push and potentially one without using as well.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to mind too much as yet. Exactly that has happened. They're taking mid for free here. They're going to be looking to go on to second. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult not to use. Oh, it's Derpy who's using in through main, trying to catch out Pickles. The damage is huge here, but they've all just escaped with a lovely surf from pretty much every player. Cell, the only victim of this push, however, keeping all these players up. They only have 80% Uber. Could be time for a sack here. Yeah, sack or a drive-by or anything. There is a level 1 gun they need to be a little bit aware of. They're not spamming it down for some reason. Do get the sentry gun, do take warps down, however, losing 2 for your own side just means this should be called off, but they're staying a little bit aggressive, seeing if they can find anything a little bit cheeky, but...
Well, SNH found Bloke, which is fairly cheeky if you ask me, and an enclosed space, I guess, using the gunboats plug into his advantage. But that's, you know, it's maybe enough to go for another sack, but Robert still doesn't have one. SNH getting caught out as well by Jordy on the revenge kill. They're just going to have to wait, and like against a gun, against a heavy, like it's never easy at the best of times, but definitely not when there's 2 minutes left. And the Metalworks map itself is on the line for sammakot. They have to get around, and there's not a great deal of time to do it in. So I want to see what they go for. Do they go for something crazy? They're going for a spy player, sniper player. They're thinking about off classes.
We'll tell you what it is. It is Silves coming up on the man treads here. We did see Warped use it previously. Didn't get exactly what he wanted, but he got in so deep from it, right? And he took a little bit of initial spam coming in, so if Silves can go in with a 300 buff here, this could be huge. They also have a sniper up here, so a bit of a double threat coming out. I'm not sure how much this is going to really help. Oh, it just takes a demo man and the stickies down. Well, not down, but out of that fight. Silves tries to go in, but the gun just still does too much damage.
And now, is there even enough time at this point to really do much, right? There's 1 minute, 10 seconds. Yes, they're going to try something. They're going to try and like trade and take some kind of refight or You know, but I say there's not enough time to like to try and lose a bunch of players, go back to second, rebuild up, and come back in because we're down to 55 seconds. It's here or now, and SNH up on the heavy is going to try and go for something in a post fight after an Uber trade, I'm assuming. But against this setup, it's so rough. There's the gun, there's the sniper. The gun's even got crits on Jody's Frontier Justice as well. It's going to be such a hard push to make work on this time frame. They're going to have to go for it, but I'd be very impressed if this works.
Yeah, it's going to be the trade going on Derpy Goose in through main here. Needs to focus down that Tendra gun, but Piggles has only just popped the Uber here when there's literally nothing left on Roberts here, and those crits come out swinging, picking up the Derpy Goose here. Sylph's going down as well. This heavy would have to do so much here, but he's spotted and he should be focused down here. There's just surely not enough players to come in. Oh, there's even a sniper to ruin his day here, and it should be the push. Being absolutely rattled here for the side of Sammakot. After a close series, the timer finally goes down, and it is Big Bloke Season victorious in this first map of Metalworks. But what a close one.
That was a really close, right down to the wire, and you've got to say, like, if there's an extra, like, 2 or 3 minutes to play there, on last, and they actually have time to go for like a slow burn with a sniper and trying to send sacks and things like that into last, like maybe there's a world where they can sneak another round through, but just having to rush so much, trying to go for like the exchange and bring a heavy out player, like it's, you see it work once in a blue moon, right? But it's not something that's going to reliably convert you rounds. And yeah, we see why the Uber charge on Pickles just lasted forever, and no one goes down to it. But great fight from both these teams, and it was a real back and forth, like you mentioned. And it's all down to these tiny couple of moments, like the drop we saw from Bloke. There was plenty of fights in the midpoint. There was plenty of times when the double bombs came in and caught Pickles as well. Like it was a real game of like a few highlight moments that decided that.
Yeah, literally, if Bloke didn't get that drop, it's very likely that they could have converted the round. I think they were, 100% getting mid there, and their attempts into second had been really fruitful from the side of Sammakot. So I think if anyone had a chance to convert that round on out of those two teams, it was definitely Sammakot. But yeah, as you said, Bloke coming out big, getting that drop onto Robert, and that's all that really matters because the rest of the team managed to convert throughout that round, and yeah, they played it really, really well following that. So a deserved win here from Big Bloke Season, but making it close. They are the favourites in this game here as well, and we are coming up to their map process next. But why don't we have a little look at logs, Ben?
Yeah, we can have a gander over towards the logs, and again, it was a weird one because it was a slow game in the way of rounds, right? But there was a lot of flip flopping, and a couple of players getting caught in the transitions around that, as is naturally the case. So not gigantic numbers in the ways of damage, but a couple of big kill numbers. SNH and Alov, the scouts over in Sammakot, having a pretty fun time.
Yeah, really low deaths on Alon. Managing to have 3 less deaths in your medic is bad and somehow impressive. I think what we saw from Robert and why he maybe had those deaths is a lot of those Ubers, there would be players behind and then kind of get pincered, right? So the Uber exchanges were a little rough on the side of Sammakot, and I think Alon was just kind of getting out of the ends of those essentially. But yeah, other than that, no huge star players. Warped had a reasonable game, getting 18 kills is, no slouch there. However, yeah, pretty slow one overall. Neither of the demo man really getting unleashed on that map as well. I was talking about low deaths. I didn't see Derpy, who's only died 4 times.
I did not expect that at all. For a demo man as well, like normally on Metalworks, demo being such an impact class, they're normally a big high priority focus target. But I don't know, this game, yeah, Derby had a pretty good time. Good bit of damage as well. But like I say, logs don't tell the whole story. It's all just about these who's getting the impact, who's getting the big moments, and it was just about on Big Luck season side in terms of those big moments.
I think Left's job as the Roma showed on that with his 17 deaths, just constantly trying to get in there. But yeah, the Meds.
Second.
Sorry?
How many of those run second, like trying to get in on
honestly, like 10. It was a lot here, and look at these stats. Robert, he even got more Medigun uses. However, that one drop was the tale to be told at the end of things, unfortunately.
Well, number 2, it's a process coming up, and I guess we said before, right? This is Big Bloke Season's map pick, and maybe it's for a reason, right? If you think on the whole your team is is more experienced, got more quality amongst you. Like that's what you do is you pick the maps where you're not going to get surprised, you're not going to get in some sort of mess. I think everyone's played Process God knows how many times, so maybe it works in that sense. But the two scouts over on Sammakot look like they were on very good form on Metalworks. You think that like changes the dynamic at all?
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, you usually think of Process as the scout map, right? Especially on mid and second, there is just such an abundance of things to jump around, high grounds, and those just work in the favor of scouts. Just a little bit more. Obviously, it's good for every class, especially soldiers, to be able to jump around a little bit here. But yeah, you have to be really, really careful of these scouts coming onto this map. And yeah, with the stellar performance we actually saw from Alov and SNH, maybe we're seeing a little bit of that inexperience of Sale showing through that game, and we're hoping it doesn't show to this one because I think he needs to have a really good performance. Otherwise, yeah, it might be each team taking each other's map picks, and that's definitely not unheard of, right? I think it's surprisingly common to take the other team's map picks, especially when you play the game as much as you do.
First game of the season as well, when like the team's like obviously coming off the off season, like you're maybe not entirely sure what maps you're fully comfortable on yet. Like both these teams are, it's strong to say new rosters, but they've got new players and new combinations of people in different classes, so maybe they don't know exactly what their strengths and weaknesses are at this point, this early in the season. But there is one thing I want to bring up, which is sort of the impact of this game. The winner of this game is going to go through into Prem next season. The loser still has a chance, but it is actually double punishment if you lose, because not only do you have to go into the lower bracket, you have to fight against the Demo Knight next game. So that's the punishment. That's what Sammakot have got going. They have to win this map, otherwise they have a date with the Demo Knight coming up later on this week.
Yeah, that could be absolutely horrible. I don't think anyone's really expecting for them to come up to these Prem qualifiers on that Demo Night team. I thought maybe they wanted to stay in and win Div 1. Obviously, they got second place, which is phenomenal for a Demo Night team, but I thought maybe they wanted to win it before they touch Prem, but I think they want to say something. I think Odin wants to be that first Demo Night to touch Prem here, and it's not too far off him. We'll see which team has that torturous game coming up a little later in the week. I believe it should be, or maybe potentially next week.
It's at some point. I think they're trying to cram all the games in before like the start of the season, because the season officially starts as it's Sunday or Monday. So in theory, the games should be done by then. Whether in reality that's going to be the case is obviously up to debate, right? Like we know what scheduling is like with all these Prem games. Sometimes they can get moved around or delayed or whatever. But in theory, they are meant to be sorted by Sunday. So we'll see with that. But like I say, going into Process, we can think about this game here and now. We can sit and talk about Demo Nights and how funny it would be to have a Demo Night in Prem. At the return of Witness, they get greeted week number 1, walking out to mid, and like Pappy's there just getting decapitated. It's like, this is what I've come back for then. But
yeah, the high caliber of gameplay. Before we start here, who's your player to watch in this game, do you think, Ben? Who has impressed you so far? Who do you think the viewers at home should keep their eyes on?
I'm gonna say SNH, not necessarily off the back of having the best logs last game, because that is true, but I have seen a lot of great SNH gameplay on Process in the past, and I actually have seen, I'm not sure if it's something that you go for now, but in the past, I think back in Poland, actually ran like semi-permanent sniper as well, and was really making it work. So that's something to keep an eye on. Process can work with sniper, especially into second point, and sniper into it is a bit of a speciality for SNH.
Yeah, he is an absolutely phenomenal sniper. However, enough of the Talkman. Let's get into the Talkman as we are onto this second map of the first Premiership Qualifiers game. It is going to be Sammakot on red and BIGBLOKESZN on blue as the aggression starts as they're both rotating. First bomb coming out. Robert takes a lot of damage. Second bomb manages to pick him up here. And it is Piggle staying pretty, but he's only with one scout here, and it's a little bit scary. A bomb does initially come in, however, they are just bunkering up in the sewers area, but it's red sewers. This is a scary place to be.
Warped is trying to get back to help the team, but actually dies in the process. So there are spawners coming up, which is something to be aware of. 1 second away from that spawn with 3 players, but they've actually just run the rings around everyone. They can just get a fight into Roach, and if they win this very, very quickly, they can get in onto mid. There is a play behind as well, forcing out the Uber. Really good work there from SNH, able to just about get there in time, because I was thinking if Rocha dies quick, then they actually could just escape. But no,
Yeah,
they
it's
stand
a
long
scary
enough to
situation.
get the Uber
Oh my
out.
god, it's mid-fight 2.0. We're coming back. It's even Ubers. Mac manages to stay in here. It's an early bomb coming in. They've just taken so much more space here on the side of BIGBLOKESZN. I don't think they're quite ready for them to stay so aggressive there on the side of the Blokes. However, Uber advantage is for the side of sammakot here. Already on 90% Uber, and they are very aware of this on the Blokes. Playing it far back, setting up this spam. This point can be surprisingly hard to get into sometimes. Sometimes you just get in for free, but sometimes this spam just does so much. But instead of spam, it's an early soldier bomb, and Warp just setting up so aggressively, not letting anyone through IT here. It looks like they have to kind of rotate a little bit here. No, they're not going to use. They've let it even up. They knew there wasn't time there, and I think that's the correct play.
Yeah, it's very different to Metalworks mid in the sense that like all these entrances, they're all really narrow doorways. There's not really an option to try and milk it in, especially if there's like threats of soldiers landing in towards choke. And yeah, like unless you're gonna just sort of run through IT and then blind pop around the corner, like it's really hard to try and work an advantage in 6v6. So they're just gonna slow it down and just take the even fight on their own second. And actually, a fight in IT at the moment as everyone is having a bit of a brawl. Warped and Roshi, the two roamers trading out their lives in IT. But that's
Yeah,
just going to be something.
I thought it was going to turn into a little bit more there. I thought maybe they would take that chance when they know they have to deal with Warps, right? And they sent 2 players into IT to maybe send something a little bit cheeky and try to go for a 2-man. But we've seen on this Mac team, they like to play it very steady and only lose one at a time, right? They seem to be very afraid to, you know, commit more than 1 or 2 players at a time here. And it slows down the game, like, a lot for this team. And I think maybe it will change if they're really in that type position, but so far they've just been playing this extremely safe.
Yeah, of course. And again, they're just like, you know, just losing one play. There's no risk at all as Sale decides to run all the way out through the sewer onto the grass, try and have a poke, maybe open up some space for a bomb coming through. I see Blokes stood around choke, getting ready to get in, and actually does go in straight in. 1 rocket onto Robert, 2 rockets onto Robert, and actually the Force is able to come out on rocket number 3. It was very innocuous to the waddle in, and the couple of rockets at the wall, and just flies straight into the face of the enemy medic. And that's the Force they were after. 2 kills going their way for it as well, but now it's BIGBLOKESZN's turn. They're using it, and they're willing to take the fight into red second.
Yeah, but it's not looking good as they've already kind of lost a lot of space on mid, and they are rushing on through here on the side of sammakot. It needs to be the rest of BIGBLOKESZN leaving here. Mac is caught in a scary position here. Will he go down? He absolutely will here. Trades for Sills, however, but I think you're okay with that demo map pick. That means you can get him through choke a little bit more free, or in their case, they are looking to try to get him through sewers.
Yeah, and with that demo man down, there's no worry about Stickies potentially being on that shutter door, so they can walk in fairly far as well. With Robert actually getting forced earlier, there is an ad to be worked with here from sammakot, just by virtue of the Ubercharge being used later on by Pickles last time around. But now, using that pick of Alov means that maybe things have to get called off for a moment, and maybe for longer as well, because Jordy and Bloke, they're both in aggressive, and they're able to get the Force out of Robert.
Yeah, but losing 2 there surely means that they're going to lose second, and second is notoriously hard to push back out of if you don't do it correctly here. Instantly, there's a soldier in through 2 onto Mac. Luckily gets that saving arrow. However, Pickles will go down during that. It's a huge bomb from Rotisha, keeping the advantage on the side of sammakot, and they instantly want to go in on this, taking it through this 4-door. 3 players in instantly, and they get this warp pick to start things up. They absolutely can. There's a heavy to contest with on the point here. However, they are all the way back straight away. So many stickies, so much damage. This is scary here for both sides, to be honest.
Yeah, Robert is in a dicey position, down to about 20 HP, having to run back and get their health, but now the recollapse is in, and sammakot, they've got their first round on the board. I was worried for a moment. I really thought that Robert might be getting caught out there, but decides, you know what, just kites it out, and the refight is so good. Everyone's just caught on the point, and I think 5 kills came through there synchronized. It was synchronized dying over on the BIGBLOKESZN because everyone just dropped and the point was just completely free. Great aggression off the back of that kill onto Pickles. Just a couple of late spawners was all it took for sammakot to get that round on the board.
Yeah, those spawners came in and absolutely collapsed. Really good work from the soldiers, especially coming in from that one. And that is at first round. We saw that last map, so things can definitely turn around here. But yeah, they've been looking pretty decent on the side of sammakot. We'll see what they want to do here, taking those kind of bring around the mosey mids. Looks like it's going to be an initial commit from Bloke. He's in, managed to get Derpy Hooves. Does lose his life for it, however. Can they get anything else?
Doesn't seem like so, and again, they've swapped sides on these mids, and it's got into this rather awkward situation now. With Demo and Soldier down, can sammakot get themselves back out? And they're actually quite a way away from Uber as well, about another 10 more seconds, so they don't really want to be losing anyone too soon. Silver's going to jump back over towards his own IT, and perhaps look at making a way of escaping for the rest of this team, and they are going to take it. Robert able to get around to IT, and they are able to escape with all of their remaining players intact. And with a force to Pickles as well, mind you.
Yeah, they instantly come back in here. They see some picks. It's Sail going down, overextending there, and they are chasing hard. Also able to get warped. Alof has been on an absolute tear. Geordie going down as well here. It's anyone can die. Apparently, I don't know how they managed to get free from that fight. However, they absolutely do, and they love just charioting it all the way to last hit. Alof already spotting things out, but they've got a little bit of time to wait at the midpoint. Hasn't even been captured yet.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time there. I was very confused there with that mid fight, because to me it looks as if one from sammakot was to back out, and I think BIGBLOKESZN thought that too. But this is a bit of aggression, because I'll hold the thought for a moment, because that's Demo Man down actually for BIGBLOKESZN, and the pressure is in already. Uber charges aren't even up, mind you, for both of these two teams. Roach are already all the way up in panic room, and there's already potentially cap time coming through as well. No behoves just walking onto the point. Look at the cap, they're just going to get it under the nose with these last remaining couple of players. These last holds are crumbling from BIGBLOKESZN. Even in the dry fights, they're just not able to hold the fort.
Yeah, they're just sending in that off-timing bomb that they're just not expecting. The side of the blokes there. They take down Mac, and they manage to take down a soldier. Cell, in the meantime, is playing hit a shot challenge to try to get a soldier while he's just dodging and diving, and it just absolutely crumbles with that aggression coming in at the same time. They've just been playing this really well so far on the side of sammakot. 2 rounds down already for the side of the blokes. They need to make something happen on this mid.
Yeah, of course. Last time it looked like it could have been good with that kill and demo early, but this time again, it's going to be a bit of a rotation on this one. Blow going to bomb in very deep and commit hard onto Robert again. Signs of the Metalworks one there at that time, but they've lost 2 soldiers for it, so got to be relatively careful on the sammakot team that they don't get collapsed on too hard now with these last remaining players. With the healers, they're going to bomb in very aggressive now. Mac weak in choke, Alof in behind as well, and these last couple of players are in dire trouble on BIGBLOKESZN, and they're getting completely sandwiched in the choke point. And that's it, another mid.
I really don't know why they're staying in. It just seems to me like they have all the opportunities in the world just to run it back and refight mid with that Uber advantage, right? This team is seasoned enough with these players just be able to walk it in, but Mac is just staying in so aggressive, and it's letting these sets come in. It was one initial soldier, doesn't do too much, but then they get a player in behind. Mac goes down in front, and it all just collapses here. I think they need to play a little bit more chill here. Mac is finding his limits in this game already, and they want to contest on the side of the bloke second, at least a little bit here. There was a soldier, however, they are going to run it out here in the end of things, and it's about a 30% advantage here. Going to be a close one here. If they build this well on BIGBLOKESZN, they very well could get ready on that 70%. However, Uber is going to come out through 4. It's onto Derpy, who's straight on from the center.
Yeah, of course. These pushes before, even without the Ubers in play, have gone well for sammakot. This time they've got the Uber charge as well. Gunned down already, as you say, but there's been a lot better kiting this time from the BIGBLOKESZN team. Lots of cap time coming through. Piggles still not up with that Uber charge just yet, but it's not going to matter. Both soldiers being cleaned up from sammakot, and that means now BIGBLOKESZN, they could breathe a bit of a sigh of relief, because for the first time they're able to hang on to their last point, and they're able to hang on to it in a very good way. All 6 players surviving, Uber charge ready, and they can walk out to second and even maybe further forward onto mid 2.
Yeah, looks like they want to take it IT. Mac already taking it, is going to miss that SNH soldier if they go this way. And they are deep. Derpy Hooves should be caught. He absolutely is. Jordan goes down in return. However, it's not terrible though. You will take that demo man pick moving on to second here. But they have 90% Uber, and it looks like they want to reuse in through this choke area. It's Sills jumping through initially here, just trying to find some space. It's going to be a counter bomb coming in straight away, but just making some time here. Is Warp going down as that first pick. They haven't had to use Piggles. He's sitting pretty. He's all the way out here, and it should be that is the only pick, and we have flip-flop on mid once again. However, Uber advantage still on the side of sammakot, and they've got users.
Of course, and again catching Geordie on the flank too, and again it's another 3-second point for the sammakot team, and again long spawner on Geordie means we've seen in these situations before. They are ready to just bully their way, and they are prepared to just take the fight to TF2, the defending Big Bloke Season team, and again, it looks like it's been this way once more. Alov in so far, already onto the point, but decides, you know what, fighting a heavy as a scout is not his cup of tea, so decides, you know what, we'll run back. But we'll have to, we'll send some sacks, we're in no rush, 2 rounds up, plenty of time to play, there's no reason to be dying too aggressively there, and they're going to use the time to actually bring up the SNH Sniper, which is something I mentioned in pre-game, so we're going to cast his curse it, of course. SNH does 0 damage with this, of course, because as the curse would have it be, or maybe not, I'm happy to be surprised.
Yeah, we'll see if he can do anything. He should have spotted out that dot, and Daza manages to back away before taking critical shot to the head here. So they're aware of this sniper, which makes things all so much more difficult here. SNH does hit that headshot initially, but buffed up sniper means that he will not die during this. Geordie, you're not buffed though. He's got to be a little bit careful. Finally does get the buff during all this. SNH though, he's at 5 though. They don't think that's where he is. However, getting spammed out here does slow things down a little bit, and this is a problem with Process, right? It's actually really hard to find an angle when you're playing properly. It had to be a soldier kind of over-aggressing if you get a hero shot. It's really the only thing you can seem to find.
Soldiers are so hard to hit as well, because it can't just be a 150, and also they're obviously jumping around, they're bubbling, they're like never just waddling in a straight line, so it's tough. It's really tough. So SNH decides to rotate around, trying to find a doorway, trying to find a way in. Perhaps able to even look at something onto Geordie, perhaps even something onto one of those down middle headaches with the Holy Grail. SNH now going to rotate over towards rollout, and again just staring down the sniper. Geordie enough of a threat. SNH just won the fight.
Yeah, I do like these changing angles very often, trying to find something new, someone who's caught a little unaware, had a good opportunity on Mac, but unable to really get anything in the end. And there's always this spam that's coming from Pre, so whenever he wants to go to 5, he always just catches that little tail end of a rocket here. Once again, has found Geordie, neither one managing to hit the shot thus far. However, Soldier, quite aggressive SNH. Can you find him? Doesn't seem like he wants to stay in. Knows there's a lot of damage that could come his way very quickly. This just really slows down the game, right? Oh, doesn't
for a
matter.
moment.
Loop goes down.
That's what you say for saying it slows it down, because 2 kills come in quick succession, and attempts for bombs cover in 2 as the gun's taken down, plenty of opportunity, and it does actually get that force out over onto Piggles. So that's all it takes, 1 soldier, and the deck of cards comes tumbling down onto the table. So great work again, just 1 frag, door opens up, soldiers in an absolute instant as soon as that gun's down. Really well played from Sammakot.
Yeah, Sel just had 0 fear there. 150 HP straight after spamming the gun. Got his rockets loaded straight onto Piggles there. Also had a Rotter shirt coming up in the back just in case things went awry. Would have cleaned up, I think, onto Piggles there. He was not near enough spawn. And now, the Uber advantage push is for the side of Sammakot. It's about 30% by the time they push here, however, so definitely could make something happen. They struggled last time in this situation, but this time W's going so aggressive up to that high ground. They're just trying to find anything, but not a single pick has rung out thus far here. And look at this, Piggles 90% Uber, managed to take down Rotisher as well. They had to leave on the side of Sammakot.
A late attempt from Silves onto the spawn door, almost managed to catch out Piggles there with a late bomb, but now it's mission retreat for the remaining players on Sammakot. They've lost 3 already, don't really want to be losing any more to try and hang on to the second point, and Piggles not using very important in the way of meaning they are able to capture this one and potentially look further forward. It's going to be about 25 at the moment, so it's not great, but it's enough, it seems, to want to have a look at this, because they're eyeing up the choke point and they're already sending soldiers in.
Yeah, I want to get aggressive on this. And SNH also did get delayed on his spawn there. An early pick on the Sills is also very nice. They're taking a lot of ground here. They're really struggling to stay in. However, Warps does go down, so if they want to take a refight, they absolutely can, and they are definitely staying in here on the side of Sammakot. But they don't want to make mistakes here. These small mistakes could really cost them, as we saw last map here. But they're confident. They are feeling themselves so far. It doesn't look like either team really with a big advantage. Warp, the only player down now. And that causes the side of the Blokes just to have to leave. Even to be even up, and if you are the side of the Sammakot, you don't have to do anything. Oh, hit it.
Oh.
No. Didn't want to get greedy there, but cleaned up too fast.
It's worth a go. You hit that first rocket so sweet.
Is it worth a go when you lose 2 here?
They want to go. They're already in. They're taking lots of ground.
It does look like gonna take this, taking down Derpy Hooves as well here. That's really, really good for coming onto second, right? Because that means your demo man just can't really trap anything off. You don't have that spam to really slow them down here. As long as you don't lose a soldier early, it should be a reasonable push if they want to try to take it. However, if they lose Sills, just kind of bombs in here, and unfortunately, they have to cancel here. And the clock ticking down here, Ben. Less than half of the time remaining here. Do they need to start getting a little more active on the blokes here? Trying to go for something a little more cheeky, go for the small advantages?
Yeah, potentially, and that might be why they brought up Sale and the Sniper, thinking about, you know, trying to bring the fight to the Sammakot team, trying to, you know, use the sewer angle, because these angles you can get from the shutter in sewer, they are absolutely brutal. It means you have to stand in such awkward positions over towards the point, so all eyes on the new kid on the block. Can they hit anything? So far, Pickles is stationed very safe behind at the middle sideline. There is potential for something to peek in from the far right-hand side of sewer, but Sale so far just poking around, trying to see what else is on the menu perhaps. But these soldiers, Sylvs and Roadshow, it's so much work just bombing around, trying to keep tabs on where Sale is and make sure there's no free peaks.
Yeah, SNH, however, does go down during this. Luckily, will be traded out on that flank here, but that's just one less player to pressure this Sniper. However, Geordie going down to surely cancel this. That is 0 scouts in. This is prime sack territory if they wanted to go in, but I think they know they have to play far back here, so they are just going to try to take it for free on the side of Sammakot here. However, there's a Sale to worry about as well. No, they're not going to take it. This side, we're in too good of a situation, right? We have 2 rounds up. There's no reason to risk it.
The thing is as well, when you're going into a sniper like that, unless you're going to be trying to like surprise do like ITL, you have eyes on where the sniper is, you kind of have to be prepared to use instantly. And they weren't maybe prepared to, like, you know, have using and have people coming in the post fight and such, and it gets messy. Sammakot, I respect the decision, you know, 2 rounds up, decide they don't need to be risking big aggressive fights over towards mid, especially into a sniper that could potentially be a nuisance if they start hitting their shots.
Absolutely true. Talking about shots, playing in the sewers areas is where we usually see the snipers take things, but they're kind of playing in this top IT area, making it a little bit awkward. Oh, however, Med dropped down. That was a golden opportunity. Unable to get anything. Cell taken down very low. They're using Uber, though. Robert pops it out. Piggles in no danger at all here. Look, they went for the risky play, and it has not paid off, unfortunately, this time. And it should be the rest of the team from the blokes flooding in here for pretty much free, as everyone is so far back.
They're going to try their very best to get a gun up. They're going to sniper of their own now over on Sammakot, but this is really what BIGBLOKESZN needed. They needed their way back into this game. Like you said, there's under half the game left to play, just 11 minutes at the moment, and getting themselves on the board is absolutely imperative, as the push looking like it's going to be coming in all the way from one Geordie back all the way in, trying to get some stickies overs with left hand shuttered. Gun taken down too. There's a sniper as well, which makes it a bit more awkward in terms of this push. Robert's still a bit of a ways away from Uber so far, so now the soldiers all about their bomb, their aggression across the point. Can they get these frags? A couple of kills though on the red side coming in, and actually it's Alv and SNH who are the ones cleaning up in the post fight. Pickle's going to be getting caught potentially. No, Pickles, you can't be going last here. Oh, they're going to go for it. Worth a shot, but really good clean up.
Such a Piggles play. It doesn't really matter, right? It's going to be a big Uber disadvantage either way for this, so it's kind of fine to go for a little bit of a troll play here. But yeah, it's looking good. Really nice hold from Sammakot. Just kind of won out that post fight. There's not much more to say about it. The scouts just popped off, hit their shots, and it was very, very well played on the rotates as well, as when they initially did come in. Able to take second, able to take mid for free. Piggles only just spawned here. However, the Soldier might have something to say about it. Unfortunately, Bloke not able to put 200 AGs down on Robert once again here. And yeah, look, they've already sent a scout back to last. They're busting in straight away. They are toast to coasting this all day.
This is rough. There's only 50% Uber on Pickles because that death was so late and the spawn move was so late as well. They're actually getting used into already on these last point. Second isn't even capped up yet. We've got Alov, we've got Roadshoot, we've got Sylvs already in panic room trying to get kills on these last couple of players. Demoman down, no stickies on point, and this might just be a free third round now for the Sammakot team, and it is 3-0 up. And it's all at the back of that coast to coast. I thought it'd be 2-1 just a couple of minutes ago when we saw that Ubra coming in from BIGBLOKESZN, but it didn't go their way, and yeah, just not able to get anything on the transition, and the team's pushing as fast as Sammakot are. You know, you pay the price for it.
Yeah, those soldiers being able to just get up into the high ground is really what mattered there, right? They can just rain down absolute carnage to anyone who tries to get out of that left spawn. And then you have to look two ways. Do you block the point? Do you look at the soldiers? And there's no correct answer there, as the only answer is death here. See if they just go for a really aggressive mid here on BIGBLOKESZN. I feel like it's the only thing they can really do. It is Bloke going in for that big fading round bomb. However, Port once again being the first victim of this mid is exactly what they did not want. Health pretty bad on the side of the Blokes during that as well. There's some good spam damage coming out from Derpy, who especially at the start of that mid managed to get warped down surprisingly low as well. And they want to keep going in here. They're sending it in the sack instantly on Stills. Pickles doesn't have quite yet, so no chance of enforcing, but not able to hit that second rocket. And look at this. They're going to take this opportunity to try to pressure. They want to try to come in. They need to go for something as there's only 8 minutes remaining.
3 rounds to find in 8 minutes is a big order. But yeah, Warp's getting quite out flank is at the start they're wanting in terms of that, and Bloke going down to the two soldiers sent aggressive, trying to find that killer to Robert, and none of them even caught eyes of the red medic there. Sammakot just playing it so well, so safe, and now they're the ones who are able to get in. How on earth has SNH got behind everyone? SNH is on Pickles, SNH gets the top!
He is just too good. I think he just runs it in through IT while there's a couple of players down. I think it was as simple as that. Managing to drop Pickles there is something you don't see every day. This man usually very aware, but I guess there was just no call on him there, and you can't really ask him to react, you know, in 1 millisecond every single time here. But once again, in the driver's seat is sammakot, taking the second point. Gonna be wanting to look at last with this uber advantage. They've been pretty good on their conversion so far. Sail is up on this heavy, so changing things up a little bit, but no sentry gun as it's been spammed out by Sills.
Yeah, like you say, these last pushes have been one of the big difference makers this game, because sammakot are 3 for 3 so far, I believe. Want to make it 4 for 4. Derby, who's bombing over to the left hand side, going to try and force these players around, trying to get mistakes on the door. But actually, the cap is just coming out under their noses, and all this time spent rotating away from the demo man. It's just so much free ground, and why not stand on the point if there's nothing stopping you?
Yeah, they've just been playing these last points, you know, pretty much perfection. They've been seeing the weaknesses that are on the BIGBLOKESZN season here. They've been seeing what's not been working on those last holds. However, a little trick up the sleeve is going to be the crit spree coming up on Piggles here. So they will be having the advantage a little bit earlier. We've seen many people get caught out by this previously. All they have to do is stay alive on this mid, and they have a huge advantage.
Yeah, that might be the problem though, because the last couple of times they haven't been keeping their players alive for too long. Warped already going around behind into IT, is getting chased away by Roger as well. So you know what, I'll turn around despite the rest of the players. Warp's the threat for now. But the players who are threats, Jordan's going to get a kill onto SNH. Lots of damage over to Derby Hughes as well. He's had to back out very far, and now he said this is where the crit is good. One scout down for either team. Back walking forward, crit's getting detonated. The stickies are in.
Straight onto Derby Hughes here. The bomb's round as well. Has to do some dodging and diving on Robert here. Will only lose 1 for it and gonna have an Uber up on blast against a potential crit streak, or they might even want to try to push out. SNH, he was having a little pick. Oh, looks like they want to go 2 actually. This is baller. I can't believe they're going for this. Mac is going to die instantly. Cratering. He gets the arrow. Pickles hits it, but surely he is not long for this world. I mean, that was a highlight though, Pickles. Put it in the frag movie.
Yeah, really nice, but completely inconsequential at the end of this fight, because now the re-aggression that can still attempt to come in. Second point isn't even capped up yet at this point, let it be known. This block was really nice from sammakot, and now just Emma man down, 4 players dropping from the BIGBLOKESZN team, and midpoint going to be capped up, and 5 minutes left. I don't like saying it, but I believe we may be in garbage time by this point.
Is out though. French gets onto Rottershirt and Sills. That's 2 soldiers down here. It's going to make things really hard to hold. Robert only on 60%. Shouldn't get this Uber before they want to try to push in here. However, they've just been so good at building during all of this. I struggle to believe they're not going to manage to get something going. At least on to last, right, and managing to get themselves out here. It is going to be the Blokes taking second here pretty handily, but Pickles is taken down very low, meaning the rest of his team not getting those hills up front as Uber was popped out from Robert, unable to really get anything here, and they're staying so aggressive, just trying to find any picks. It is Geordie going down early, but going to trade out. It's a 2 for 1 as well during all of this. Robert hitting some nice arrows, saving his scout body here, and SNH just going absolutely crazy. It's only really 1 scout remaining. Will lose Alon However, so the blokes actually may be able to stay in this if they can hit some good shots here.
I just think Sale has
medic.
managed to catch Robert out completely. How on earth is Robert still alive there? Sale just didn't have the ammo in the scattergun, I guess, to finish that one off. He's going to come in for round number 2 and attempt to hit, and he's going to just run into roll. Never mind. Okay, unfortunate time there for Sale. There was a point there where player Robert could have come through, but just, there's still many players to shoot, right? Had just won the fight against SNH, I want to say, in front, so Metalworks not enough the clip to take down that one now, as we are into almost chaos mode at this point. Everyone's just fighting non-stop, pushing back and forth. Crit streak still out for Piggles, trying to get that one built up, but there's no ad.
Piggles hits the arrow to save Bloke there as well in mid-air. He's just playing pretty clutch, to be honest. And they might be able to block this here on the Blokes. They do, so it's not going to be midpoint. However, it's going to be an Uber out onto Piggles. He's still on the crit screen. Will hit the serve, however, it doesn't matter. Alov going to hit that final shot here. Bloke coming in, trying to find something, not able to find the air shot. It's a nice serve by Robert. Will be cleaned up by Jordi, as this is absolute chaos. Everyone going down here, there, and everywhere. Warped managing to find Derpy Hughes as well. And Alov hitting the big rockets, and it's finally a wipe here. And this could be a round. However, no one picking up Piggles, so this Uber advantage is going to be negative somehow.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, isn't it? You kill the enemy medic and they have ad. Piggles spawning so far away with the rest of the team. Finally, Sale comes back, and it is crits regardless. So, like, I'm not sure how much deal this like extra 10% ad really has. With 2 minutes left and 4 rounds to find, it makes absolutely zero deal, because I think that's actually mathematically impossible. I think everyone's on pain trains and stacking points optimally. I still don't think you're getting 4 rounds in this time, but they may as well try and get 1. Try and get a bit of a consolation prize for this game as Bloke bought out on the way back.
Yeah, it absolutely is over here. But these players, they seem like they want to keep trying, right? They don't seem like they're fully giving up here. I think they want to see if they can maybe get something going with this, as they are taking IT with Warped. It is a crit screen, it's slight advantage. Robert only on 80%, can Warp find a massive rocket. No, he can't find a rocket. There's just no one. Where have they gone? They disappeared. Where are all the players?
Oh, it's tragic. It's absolutely tragic. The Uber charge does come back in there after debut. This is a shiny Uber charge. This means that they're able to take so much more ground here on the second point, getting 3 frags already. Might be some more as well. Sale and Pickles, the two just trying to get out. Never mind. Pickles isn't trying to get out. Pickles wants to fight. Is there? Oh, I thought there was a melee fight about to happen there. Gets invaded. Sale decides, you know what? Don't want to have any fights going on with the melees. We can just go and clean up all the skills as scouts usually do, like, you know, in pubs, trying to like have a fun little melee fight with someone, and a scout comes in and just 2-shots everyone.
Yeah, it just ruins all the fun. Oh, we got the Bloke sniper. Is he gonna hit a shot in garbage time? There's still a minute for it. He's spotted out instantly. Surely a sword is just gonna jump in.
Yeah, it's not. I've not got high hopes, but we can see, we can believe.
Hey, they're just going to push him through IT behind them while no one.
Come on, Bloke. Let's see. Nice shot from Bloke. He's going IT behind them all. Okay, that's interesting. And Jordi and Pickles. Okay, yeah. Deep into garbage time. Everyone just gets deleted in the choke.
This is a gameable time. We had the sniper 1v1. SNH once again ruins it. We're going to have an SNG battle.
Oh dear. But have some respect.
Has some dignity. SNH is still trying its arse off here. This man does not want to stop. This is crazy.
We can't be having this. This is way too serious.
You'll be taunting some players or something at this point. Come on, man.
Oh,
Give them some hope.
Pickles is playing like anti-sniper, just like looking at the sky, like spinning, trying to make the head hitbox move as much as possible. Great to see.
His logs are ruined, by the way. I'm not talking about Pickles and the logs, because he's died 5 times in like 1 minute. I didn't even know you could die that fast, that often. However, at the end of all this, yeah, it is 4-0 to Sammakot. So they are the winner of that second map. After a nail-biting first one, they completely changed the tide of that second one, looking honestly pretty dominant. A couple of good attempts onto last from the side of the Blokes, however, unable to convert on a single one of them. The confidence that you're going to be feeling the Sammakot team comms right now is going to be electric.
On the opponent's map pick as well, let it be known, so...
Yeah, it just makes it
we were saying before, like, you know, map picks don't mean too much, especially at the start of the season, right? Like, this is why, I guess, it depends who's on form on the day, and really, like... I know I said before, like, the scouts were the ones you look forward to, because obviously, like, mid in particular is great. playground for scouts jumping around and kind of deleting everything. But I think the thing that impressed me the most about Sammakot in this game was the way they were just able to just bully their way into last off of tiny advantages, not even like uber advantages. Just up like one player in a dry fight, and that player is going to be a spawner in 5 seconds. They're still bullying and they're still taking space, and they just had the number of big bloke season on every single last push.
Yeah, they were constantly just making attempts with their soldiers, which I really, really like. I'd like to see that fast-paced gameplay. Obviously, it's not going to work with a team that's maybe a little more seasoned, a little more together. There's a few new faces on classes here, and I think it shows a little bit the damage coming out from SNH. Top damaging on flank scout. He just had the number constantly, right? He was always behind, always doing crazy damage, doing a really good job of protecting his medic when he needed to as well, and managing to play against around Robert. And I think it really shows in that logs. And I think Derby Hughes, he took a lot of Ubers, man. I think that's where a lot of that damage is coming. It's from the Ubers, but he did absolute work with them. He was getting really good tags and then just able to follow up on those scouts.
Yeah, those Ubers into last from Derby Hughes were really good. Even if he wasn't necessarily getting kills, it was just zoning so well. Just like forcing Big Block Season to rotate and not be looking at the point, not be fighting, or rotate into where the soldiers are bombing in. Like, yeah, it was really impressed.
Yeah, a bit of a masterclass from Derpy Hooves. I mean, look at those kills on those scouts on red team compared to blue. It's obviously not crazy different, but they're just kind of popping off on the red side. I mean, SNH and Alov both having a really decent game overall. It's hard to say how close it was because that garbage time was
Yeah,
just garbage
how
time,
many
right?
how many of those kills were SNH like ruining like medic melee 1v1s in like the last
Well, he
minute?
went on a 5k in like the last bit, so I assume there's like a decent amount
Yeah, I
there.
think the SNH logs will still have been good, but yeah, that's taken into consideration.
I see. I said I didn't want to talk about Pickles here, but he died a lot more, and he only got
Well,
6
how many of
mediguns
those in the
compared to
last 5
12.
minutes? We'll see, I guess.
Yeah, but only getting 6 mediguns there, 3 crits creeks. Obviously, the crits creek was building a little bit better than the mediguns, so you're expecting to get them a little more often as well. But Robbie getting 12 compared to 6 is kind of phenomenal. I think Pickles was just getting caught out on like 90%. You know, we saw those bombs coming in instantly through second from Sylves, and sometimes they worked, sometimes they didn't, but the pressure plays onto Pickles were absolutely huge. And we're going into Sunshine on this third map, and I feel like Sunshine plays maybe the most like Process. I don't know if that's just me, except for maybe the last is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's got a lot of similarities, and that's going to be a good thing if you're a Sammakot fan or a Sammakot player. They're probably very happy to be going into another map where things might be working in their favor once more. Because yeah, absolutely, that last map was I won't say it's a new look team, but I think they weren't necessarily bad on Metalworks either. I just think they were in real control on that second map, and like yeah, going on to Sunshine, maybe this could be the upset win because Sammakot, I think, were they originally in like the bottom pool for like, or they reshuffled everything? I can't actually remember, but like maybe it's a bit of a shock for them to be here in the upper bracket to begin with, but maybe they could be avoiding the Demo Night game altogether and just getting that invite straight away.
Yeah, I think this is the team of I guess some players have played a reasonable amount. Derby Hooves has been around for a lot, but the likes of Robert, I don't think I've ever seen him in a season on Medic, and he's playing really well. Alov and SNH, obviously, they've been around the block a little bit, but they're not those 10 seasons of Prem kind of players that you would expect to be playing so well against, the likes of Mac and Warped and Pickles, who have all been, around for a fair amount of time, especially Mac has he's been around forever, it feels like, and one Prem a couple of times now, actually, with his most previous win. So you'd expect him to kind of be playing a bit of a bigger game, but maybe the old man, the syndrome is getting to him. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit of BM to talk about. But yeah, I've been really impressed, to be honest, so far. I think these Red Scouts have impressed me the most, but also just the commitment from the Red Soldiers has been really impressive. And I think if they carry on how they're playing, I think this could be their map, and it could be the side of the Blokes going down to that lower bracket final potentially. Unfortunately, Ben is he's still
Yes, I'm
dead
here.
here. Oh
I'm
no,
here.
he's here. He's
I'm
here.
here. I'm back.
I thought I heard a microphone crackle.
Yeah, no, that's me. We're back, ready for the Sunshine map. It seems that the players are not too far off ready as well. We've got 12 in the server again. We had a couple of reconnects there for a moment. But I just realised I was thinking then, so the loser of this goes into the lower bracket, where there's also Garda, which is the team with like Ghazi and Connor in it, and you know, all the gangs. There's really some upset players being forced to play Div 1 if regardless of who basically gets knocked down into that lower bracket, because this season is utterly brutal, and both these teams want to get themselves secured in that top spot as quickly as possible. And it's all going to come down to the Sunshine map, because Sammakot coming back in a big way on the process with a 4-0 win. All hinges on this. Will they manage to keep this run of form going, or will Big Bloke Season come back to how they were going on Metalworks and take it away?
Yeah, all to play for on this final map here. You got to watch out for these soldiers who can bomb in super fast. Both teams are going Valley initially here. Rockshire instantly bombed up onto that high ground here, but I'm so worried about a player being behind or being somewhere strange here on both sides here. But the aggression has come out initially from the side of the Blokes. Swatted it down as they lose 2 players in quick succession here. However, it's not over as Watt's still in. Hits a nice rock onto Alov, but is cleaned up there. 3 down. Pickles, however, lives. Mac is still staring into mid. Oh, it's because they're on the opposite side.
Yeah,
oh,
they have to go back and exchange. This is rough, and they actually get the force out as well. Get 1 kill onto S&H, which is something, but now the push is all the way forward now for Sammakot. There is a collapse in from behind. It's maybe a bit of a rough scenario now for the Sammakot players. How many kills can they get with this Uber? They are going to eventually catch Pickles in top lobby, but Bloke has actually come in and got a kill onto Sylvans and is trying to hold the fort here on the second point. Derby Hoops gets completely jumped over there, and now will Bloke get onto Robert? Oh, it would be so big, but does not quite manage to happen. Good attempt.
How's Alov in? How is he killing Mac there? How is this allowed to happen? Now it's Geordie and his sentry gun, the last survivors on this last, and I guess, yeah, they'd sail a little bit, but he should get absolutely crunched, and he does. It's Rockshire in. It's an air shot onto Walk to the Night, and it's a quick first round for the side of Sammakot. They've just looked like a different beast in these last 2 maps. We'll see if they can continue here, if they change something up. I think they're just losing on that initial aggression on mid. They're trying to go in and get something, but it's just not quite enough damage to really manage to get anything. Their positioning is so good on the side of Sammakot to absorb those bombs.
Yeah, and not the start you're looking for at all for Big Bloke Season. We said, is he going to go back to how it was over on the first round of Metalworks? Well, they didn't start that one 1-0 down within 2 minutes, did they? So this time I'm going to look for something a bit different. Last time we saw Bloke go in very aggressively early on, like you mentioned. This time it's more of a rotational one over towards his left-hand side. We've got Walt all the way back in their own valley, maybe trying to go for something funny on the way behind. Now it's all eyes on the rotation, all eyes Hugo just first. Hugo goes in first, Bloke goes in straight. Derby Hoops missed the second rocket, and Derby Hoops actually able to work out getting that kill over onto Bloke, as 3 players once again falling on the Big Bloke Season side as we go into a pause. And what I can only assume is just going to be another capitulation, because 1 demo pick for this, there's 2 soldiers down. Look at the positioning of these players up on the point. There's players going to be running behind on second, and Pickles might be in trouble.
Yeah, this is not a great position to be in if you're, because these 2 scouts staring you down. There's a soldier ready to spam you as well, and there's also another soldier who can just potentially bomb in onto Pickles here. I think it's going to be a really difficult situation for them, and if you know, I had a crystal ball here, I think this might potentially be another round, quick one here for Sammakot, and they are kind of having a chat and seeing what they need to change here, because it's just looked kind of dreadful so far. The soldiers just not really able to get anything. Obviously, they got onto Derby Hughes, but they gave up so much ground for that during the rest of the fight, and now they've just been a little bit split at the end here, and they're in such a great position here on the side of Sammakot if they want to reaggress.
Yeah, it basically that kill onto Derby Hughes cost 2 players, and Mac also got caught at the same time. So losing all the explosives in the matter of like a couple of seconds, and yeah, you get enemy demo, but that's it. Like, these players, like, when you're chasing down like this, they're not having a demo, like, really doesn't matter that much. These players, in theory, should be able to cut everyone off, and I never like to sort of use the fact that we've got a pause as like as a tool for working out what's going to happen, but we know that these pauses, this has happened a minute and 30 into the future. It's possible that this pause has come after a second round has gone the way of Sammakot, and the aggression already in, the cut-off is already there. Pickles, Geordie, Sale all going down on the collapse in, and to the cost of 1 soldier.
Yeah, it's just an absolute nuke coming out there. That insta-bomb in through choke straight onto Pickles, and the collapse from the scouts is so good. And there's already a soldier on to last, meaning they're not going to allow a gun to get up on that right-hand side. You've got to be careful of a sniper, but it shouldn't be okay. But they're still getting a gun because there's also an hour sniper up, so you need to be careful of that right-hand spawn. But yeah, it's just that fully advantage coming out now for the side of sammakot. And what are they going to do with this? Are they going to go the classic right-hand side? It looks like that's what they're setting up for here. We'll see if they can make it work twice in a row here. As this W's in deep. No, he's going to go down to a sniper from Sale. That's really clutch here. No other kills able to come out either. Just a sentry gun down here. And actually, a big mistake there. Losing Derpy Hooves means you're sent back to second here, and it gives so much more space for the side of the Blokes. I mean, yeah, they do lose Mac during that though.
And Rush in as well. Rush with a massive bit of damage over to his choke. Gets Pickles. Geordie goes down too. The push out, we saw it before. We commended it when it happened on Metalworks. But this time around, the soldiers on sammakot have just done too much. Warped, left in an impossible 1-on-5. And honestly, what a utter disaster of a push out. One demo man pick. And yes, it's Uber ad. But BIGBLOKESZN, they're just not doing their due diligence in these push outs. They run straight into the shutter and just get absolutely caught.
Yeah, it was the Blokes pausing as well there. So, seemed like it was possibly a strat talk, and we'll see if that comes true on this mid, if they change anything up, if they go for something a little bit different. I want to see Warped go fast and go on this demo man instantly. I think you've got to, you know, have the inner jumper main do something here, but they're going to take it slow, and it looks like they're setting up for a double bomb, as it's both soldiers going in high here, straight onto the medic.
Robert.
Oh my god, and he finally dies, but once again, they lose free for it. They're okay with that though, as they are going to back up instantly.
Are they getting out in time? Just about. Looks like there is more pressure into lobby, so mid and second potentially going to go in the way of that. I'm not too sure about second. Maybe there is time to pressure in. Geordie at late death is particularly punishing, going to be a 17-second respawner on that one. And there is going to be a fair bit of cap time coming through in a second. Do you think they get this? It's possible.
Yeah, but surely they can't retain it without these kills. It's going to be that Uber head advantage here, but they're sitting around for a little bit, actually.
Buys time.
Yeah, by a little bit of time. Doesn't let them in instantly. Bloke nearly goes down as well, taking down to 10 HP. SNH in behind him. We've seen him make wonders before. Can't, unfortunately, this time. But it's a good little distraction that allows Robert to get up to about 50% here. Still going to have to give up mid, but should be getting a second at least.
Yeah, of course. And again, it's all about how long does it take for this push to go in for BIGBLOKESZN. Bloke bombing in very far forward, able to take control towards enemy valley. Derpy who's just watching some traps. Just a bit of damage with the traps, but that's going to be it. Sets back up. Again, no need to overextend, no need to get anyone caught, no need to start sacking players to try and get a force, because the Uberchargers, they've evened out, as Robert has been building diligently this whole time. Back towards the second point as we slow down once more. For the first time on Sunshine, once more in the series, we've been quite familiar, particularly on Metalworks, with the BIGBLOKESZN trying to pressure into enemy second. Maybe they have some more success on Sunshine. I feel like there's a lot more things in the playbook that you can do on Sunshine compared to Metalworks.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm taking a lot of aggression into Valley here, which is actually a really good play here. I feel like it's the place where you have the most space, and then you still have to kind of worry about that bomb that can potentially come in through choke here. However, Bloke is in somewhere else here. It was a bomb through by Warp, unable to get anything, so losing two soldiers that one was definitely not meant to be lost. Just gives a free opportunity for them to get in, but it could be a trade coming out here as Max staying aggressive. Still goes down instantly. Pickles keeping his players alive here as well. Swan is coming up very soon, so could be a great opportunity, and they spot that on the side of sammakot. They decide to back out. They don't want to take the risk of taking that fight, which is a bit of a 50-50.
Yeah, still there's another couple of seconds away from being in this fight. Is going to be here in case there's any sort of big aggression over there in time to take the fight later on. But actually the damage going the way of the blue side so far of BIGBLOKESZN. The Ubercharge trade finally comes out. Pickles using so late though. Robert's Uber going to be fading very soon. Are they going to get out alive? Doesn't look like Alov's getting out. Is everyone else out safe? It seems like so far. Yeah, just about everyone gets out other than Alov there. Derpy Hugh's going to be spawning up now, so there will be stickies on last by the time the push comes in. But BIGBLOKESZN may be thinking about pressuring in already, trying to get in before the sticks up, before the guns up as well, but Warped, that was maybe the avenue of attack they wanted to go for. But caught out by the gun.
Yeah, they were really quick to send 2 players up onto that left-hand side. It's kind of known as that default push, and I think it was a really smart play to kind of send your players instantly there. Just takes Mac down to too low HP. He can't really get in any damage for someone to try to sack on to Robert here. So it's going to kind of slow down a little bit, as they are going to need to be seeing how they want to sack here on the side of BIGBLOKESZN. But I think this is their first attempts at sacking in this map so far. So we'll see how they want to do it. There's a lot of avenues you can go through, but this gun is always a problem.
Yeah, it's a nasty spot covered by the pillar. Means that it's not really spammable from the far side. You have to sort of peek into it, into its range. And with Soldier holding super close, beamed up as well with dispenser help, it's never going to be an easy task, but it's a task they're still willing to try at, as Max peeking with help from Bloke there. Just trying to get the damage they can as they go, but it's not quite enough. So yeah, so she's just babysitting it for now, trying to keep it alive as long as possible.
Yeah, Bloke going down there to the reflect, unfortunately for him, will be losing his life. This is just such a horrible last to try to push when you have this setup. This pyro gun, I think it was actually Witness Gaming who originally kind of pioneered this. It was even worse when you had the banner as well, right? And you
the battalions,
yeah, you couldn't do anything about it. You get the gun, oh, we'll just blow a battalion and you're just going to do 25% less damage or whatever the stat is. Thank God that was banned, because this was just an impossible last to push when that was the meta.
No, it's still not easy, and the thing is as well, like, I think this hold is hard to break. There's also the holds where the gun's right away into the front wall as well, which also have their own sorts of merits. So there's plenty of different ways to play it, and none of them easy to reach into. Warped having the first go at breaching in, using the cover of the pillar to try and get up towards point to try and maybe get something onto Robert, but Robert is just very, very safe. Just chilling, doesn't take any damage at all. Just dancing on this pillar.
Yeah, I think I like them busting that left-hand side more. I think it makes a lot more sense than trying to hoop Alov misses a reflect, right, or the gun can't be held up for a little bit. I think trying to pressure this and get a soldier or a demo man pick is a bit more likely, or at least you take a distraction there, right? If you take 3 people's eyes, you can maybe get a sack in from lower or something silly. Other than that, there's not a huge amount of opportunities to kind of push onto this last hit.
Yeah, they decided to group on the far side from the gun, which is sort of I'd say it's the obvious weak spot. You've still got a soldier and a demo watching it, potentially 2 soldiers depending on what the rotations are like for the defending side. And that seems like the way they're going to go so far. Matt going to be spamming in with stickies. They've got Sailing as well, fairly deep. But Jordy there to help out as well. But they're just not getting much done with it. They're going to give it a spam through, and eventually you can't stay out there for that long. They're going to start losing players. Actually, they lose 2 because Warp gets caught on the way back to the lobby as well. And we have quietly just sat here for over 3 minutes, and to be quite honest, BIGBLOKESZN haven't really looked close at getting in. So yeah, maybe they twist things up.
Yeah, that a little bit of aggression from Matt getting through that doorway
that was
with
better.
A sliver of hope, right? But the Pyro was just able to look at him. I feel like as soon as you call that they're looking at you, you need to get that sack in, and that might be what Warps wants to do, as he is going to be on the gunboats here, so taking no knockback damage from that sentry gun. So he's definitely going to be wanting to get in and get in fast and aggressive onto this medic. They need to spot him out, and he's not in an amazing position right now. This is a very sackable spot. But there's still that Pyro to deal with, right? It's never easy. It's Bloke busting through this left-hand side door, and here comes
over the top.
First rocket gets the force. Can't get the reflect here. That was a good pop from Robert. Would have died without it, so well played from him. Now, the advantage is towards the side of the Blokes here with about 50 seconds remaining. By the time they get all their spawns, it's going to be closer to 30, so no Uber going to be able to get up for Robert. However, it's just that time pressure, right? You know if you fail this, you're going straight back to mid, and that feels like it's been more of the domain of sammakot so far this map.
Yeah, absolutely. With a great bomb there with the Mantras, making fantastic use of it. They're really going to make it count now, because that bomb will be for nothing if they aren't able to convert this Uber ad push in. Able to get the gun so far, able to get this right-hand spawn stickied off as well. Going to be trying to turn their attention now to the left-hand spawn door. Can they get it? Can they get the damage across? Robert getting close up towards his Uber charge, but probably not going to get it. No, taken down 4v3 in the damage classes. 10 seconds left. Some cap time will have to come through eventually. And there's 3 weak players left. Actually, just Sail. There's not enough players left. Sail diving onto the point, not able to get it in time. And a stalemate comes through. And what a golden opportunity thrown straight in the bin from BIGBLOKESZN. It's the best chance they've had all map.
Yeah.
Brad.
I was on the Sills cam for the majority of that last, and I have to say, I think he might have been the one that won it. Instantly jumping onto the high ground that the scout wanted to take, knocking him down. He rebombs from the point straight away, gets the soldier down from there. Is then on the high ground, just gets an easy rocket down onto Pickles and takes him down. And then from that, there's just no hills for the rest of it. Obviously, it turned into a very scrappy fight here. But just slightly with those spawners, especially that would have come through, did favour the side of Sammakot. But enough yapping because we're on to another mid, and they are meeting one another this time. Mac is so far forward pretty much by himself. However, SNH going down, Roger going down. The kill advantage is going much more the way of the side of the blokes this time. Will be Robert getting out with his pocket scout of Alon here. So not all to cry about yet. And there's the bomb in from Silks. He's going all around. Does eventually die to full damage. And now the seconds, they just say, no, this is not holdable, guys. We're still 2 rounds up. There's not really much for a reason to stay in.
They lose SNH. They walked forward onto catwalk there for a moment with 2 scouts and medic, and fortunately for them, it's actually one of the scouts that goes down because Robert was fairly far forward too, and now with 2 picks down, going to be one in the moment. Yeah, Max in already. They really want to pressure this. We saw them process. This is how Sammakot got their first couple of rounds, and again,
Robert drops
in onto Robert. Get the kill on the medic, and great pressure.
Float in once again while there's pressure from another door and they haven't got set up. It's such a clean play here. Now, if we were talking about golden opportunities before in that last round, however, this is, phenomenal. You can't get much better than this. They're not going to even have a full setup here. SNH only just getting the gun, and now there is a sniper and a gun to contend with over that right-hand spawn here. So you do need to be a little bit careful, but yeah, there's no chance of getting Uber during this fight.
Absolutely not.
Right-hand side.
Yeah, it's all eyes on the Uber. The last time the Uber did its job, I believe, got over there onto the gun, onto that right-hand spawn door, but the gun this time in a bit of a less orthodox position, taken down finally as Mac now jumping across over his left-hand side. Big damage. It's nuclear from the stickies from Mac. 3 kills coming through in the meantime, and this has to be Big Bloke Season's round now. So few players left, so few bodies to get onto this point. Can they focus on the heavy in the demo though? Look at these low HP bars though over on Sammakot. There's somehow living Piggles doing what he can to keep these players up, but actually it's a flank on as well over from the final remaining scout, and they've waited too long. The spawn wave is in. Big Bloke Season now. They have to do it the hard way without their medic. They have to battle in, and they're gonna not be able to do it. They're gonna have to back up. Big Bloke Season, that looked fantastic. They just had to shoot the heavy.
Yeah, there was just so much spam, and then the heavy just managed to get out, and no one could get healthy enough.
Wait a minute.
Tried to stand. Cell's going crazy as well with Warp. They've got a player on the point straight away here. Can he find anything more? Doesn't look like it as the rest of the spawners coming up. He will be cleaned up, but that was close for Cell there, along with Warp. Made it a little bit of a scary one. And yeah, they're sitting on last here. They have a slightly red advantage. There is no way they're going to try to push out on this one.
Oh, absolutely not. With that cap time as well, anything getting behind is going to be in a very nice situation to get a backup coming through. But again, 0 for 2 on even Uber's last pushes. This could have been an entirely different game story had these pushes gone their way. But once more, the post fight just wasn't there. Not enough focus fire. Dopey Hughes was so weak the entire time. There was no synchronized effort to finish off that kill, and yeah, great work for those last 3 remaining players with Sammakot just to hang on for long enough. But now, the pressure cook comes in, and lots of space taken from this far side. Gun taken down already, and lots of pressure behind the point. Geordie's in deep.
Yeah, surprised to see them going so deep. Robert drops again to Bloke. Didn't see him round that corner. Not his fault on that one. However, really nice play to get some, initial spam onto that medic. He has to play around the corner, and just drops once again, and it's just a bit tragic, unfortunately, here for the side of Sammakot. They want to continue some aggression, trying to get onto their second fight. Any picks they can to slow things down while Robert does spawn here. However, doesn't look like they're going to get anything. They really can't afford to lose anyone, so they all back out here. The health is bad as they're waddling in through dungeon here on the side of the blokes. Getting in for free, finally using the Uber, but there's no gun to contend with. Mac has less spawn down. Surely this is a round.
Well, I've said that the last twice, so I'm going to hold my word on this so far, because they have a pick down already, because Warp's been caught. There is a bit of cap time coming through, but there's still a heavy to deal with, it's still a demo to deal with, and everyone has just been absolutely deleted once again. It looks so good. The Uber charge is fantastic. They're in so deep before they have to use, but they just aren't getting anything, and in these post fights, the coordination just is not there at all for BIGBLOKESZN, and it's so strange to watch because again, for the third time in a row, a full Uber ad just goes awry in really wild circumstances.
Yeah, something just isn't quite right here, right? It's either they're not pressuring point enough, they're just not doing enough damage to these players, or there's not enough focus fire. I think it might be a small combination of everything here, as it is the side of sammakot getting in deep here pretty much for free. Some nice surf bombs around from Sylves there. Puts so much pressure on them, and they just can't stay in, even if they wanted to here. It is advantage here for just a sticky.
Pickaxe.
It is advantage for them, but they are taking this so slowly, it might even up here. I think they think it's even.
Yeah, it's roughly even. It's not too far off.
It was about 50% advantage when they had finished capping mid there. So it was,
not counting perfectly. I guess Pickles did die late in that previous fight. Like Pickles was one of the last people to go down when there was that massive explosion by the crates area. That was where Pickles, Mac, and Warped all got taken down at the same time. And I guess the one thing is right, like sammakot won't be like watching the VOD back, unless obviously something drastically changed. They won't be watching the VOD back and thinking, "Oh damn, we'll kick ourselves. We could have pushed an ad here of like 30% into an second, but like they're 2 rounds up."
Yeah, I mean this situation
seat.
is fine for them to be in, right? This is, you know, them on mid pushing into second. They're the ones who would usually aggress, right? So they're quite happy slowing it down and taking these sacks slow and looking for the good opportunities. There is no reason to really push this super hard because, you know, you lose 1 player. That's okay. You reset. They don't want to push out there because it's just such a hard push. You lose 2 players, 3 players. Maybe you have to leave, but you just go back onto second and lose 1 point, and then things reset once more here. I just don't think it's a bad decision for them to go for this. Bomb comes in from Sylves. It's a drop onto Pickles. He gets bumped up, and then Sylves going for another player manages to drop him. That was crazy.
That was an inhumane amount of damage in the choke. That was absolutely obscene. The damage that was synced up there. Sylves gets the killing blow, but that was such fantastic work from the team of sammakot, and they want to work it even further as well if they can. Robert getting caught out, but there's a couple of players already hightailing it into lobby. Maybe going to catch the skill over onto Sail. Alov going to be chasing it down, does get it with the pistol, but the spawner's in time. Robert getting caught too means that the disad is not bad at all. In fact, it's non-existent. Pickles is going to have a slight ad once all is said and done, but say that there's still only 3 players alive on the blue team at the moment. BIGBLOKESZN gonna have to just sit on their own last again, and with 9 minutes left, you really do not want to be here. They have to be getting rounds.
Yeah, it's a scary situation, right? When you're in this, you know you're on last, but you can't really do much about it, right? There's nothing to go on. You're kind of lucky to even have this last point with losing 3 players, and luckily the spawners took a while to get in, and they are just taking it slow and short now on the side of sammakot, which is definitely the right play. But yeah, if you're BIGBLOKESZN, you have to go for something. That's exactly what they're doing, as they're on 90% Uber, and it is an advantage here. So if they pop in, this could be massive, but these players, they're aware of it. It's just Rotasha, and he still manages to get bloke somehow, getting the tiny little air shot, but the double direct will take him down. They lose 2 for 1 during all of this as well. Ubers have evened up here. 12-second advantage is lost for the side of the blokes here. Now, look, it looks like they want to try to get in on this left-hand side. Maybe take a trade, take something. No, they're going to rotate over to the right-hand side where they have a little more space as the rest of the team did rotate here. But there's not really much to go on. Sylves doesn't go down during all of this. I guess it was maybe more of a pressure cooker. Pickles out. They took it into lobby. They're taking the advantageous push here. And look at this. They do nothing with it. Rotasha goes down. They decide to back out here. Catch any players who might be overextending. That player is Jordy here. It's a soldier in. It is bloke. Will he be caught out? No, he's playing it very smart here. And the rest of the blokes able to get in here and actually taking down SNH here. This is a scary situation. Medic pretty much alone here. Robert only got a soldier of Sylves. And how is it collapsed that badly, that quickly?
I have no... I'd love to explain, but I think it was just there was a lot of fights there that were just won by BIGBLOKESZN, just in the way of the DM and the experience, right? Like, it was a lot of dubious situations, all just tiny little things going their way, and eventually it adds up into a position where, yeah, BIGBLOKESZN can take second, they can walk forward, they can take mid, because the combo players, Derpy in particular, not being present for the end of that fight. I mean, now BIGBLOKESZN, they're back in with a lifeline. Just think a minute ago they were sat on their own last, and if sammakot really wanted to be annoying, they could have ground things to a halt, but now it's all eyes on the sacks in. All eyes on any pressure going in towards Robert, but Look, the first one to go in and try it, but not really.
Every time Bloke goes in for a bomb, he is just so shut down. I don't even think it's his fault. It is just they are focusing them down so fast. Alov is always there to clean up. The Uppy Hooves always just seems to hit a sticky before he can even land. And yeah, he just goes down, and now it's just, you know, it's another 10-15 seconds off the clock each and every time. And with 7 minutes remaining, they really would rather get things going sooner rather than later.
Oh, of course, yeah. And now trying to get their players buffed up again and maybe try and go for something similar to before, because we saw last time they were in this situation, they bombed in very aggressively. Able to catch. Yeah, was it a force over drop or a drop? I can't quite remember. This time, 2 soldiers jumping over towards Valley, actually going to get the kill into Roach straight away. And Bloke going all the way in behind. He's maybe going to try and catch someone on the retreat out of lobby, or worst case, comes to it, can actually try and escape out to a dungeon. Has dragged both scouts back. And that's honestly mission success, because now the push can come in, the Uber charge can come in as well. Uber charge is traded out in lobby, going to be better Uber for Pickles just because of all the flashing that sammakot have had to do to keep their players alive, but they've not managed to keep everyone alive as SNH is caught late on into that Uber, and now it gets messy, now it becomes a chance.
We have secured the control point.
Second, losing a player as well in the push means maybe it's a bit of an ask to get them to go dry here, but they're still looking at it.
Yeah, Warp was in so deep for so long, screaming for his players to get in. He'd made so much space here, and they have managed to get in a little bit, but it's not looking great as there's a lot of damage on the right-hand side. Mac lucky to live this one. God damn. It's crazy how much focus fire is coming down from the sammakot team, and he's still managing to live here. But they are going to need to just try to push it once again, right? It's even players, but what more can you really ask for other than just kind of making it messy? It's kind of what worked for them previously. Coming into that mid, and look at this, there's a soldier who might get picked, but it's Geordie that goes down to a sticky trap from Derpy Hooves. This rushing, that's sometimes what happens, right? You just lose a player to a trap you haven't checked, and once again, they're pushed back. 5 minutes on the clock here. Ubers are even. I think they got to slow down. They got to take a chill pill, or they could just have Geordie come up and spy.
Yeah, this was a calling card of last season. Back on Scanner, Geordie was doing it quite a bit. This time, there's a bit of time limit on it. Spy can take a bit of time to get into position, a bit of time to, you know, wait for the moment when you can get a decloak, go for that medic, go for that demo, go for the sap on the gun. You have to wait for kind of the perfect storm, but with less than 5 minutes left to play and 2 rounds to find, there really isn't that much time to wait for the perfect moment, especially when it's telling me that Alov is very aware on this pyro.
Yeah, absolutely. He even managed to take some damage there. It's taken down very low, but this is not a bad opportunity for him to decloak. They need to be really, really aware that this spy might be in, and the medic is rotating around a little bit. Is he aware?
Oh,
He's
yes!
not. It's the stab onto Robert, dropping him once more. This is all they can ask for, the ha-ha-has. Oh my God, coming out from Geordie. He thought he was so spotted there. That's also like the most common position for a spy to be in there. So a little bit of a mistake by Robert here, but finally it is the side of the blokes getting into last, get the gun early, but not able to really get any more picks. The hills have come up during this time again, and no soldiers able to get in through that doors, and actually it's bloke going down. However, a trade to SNH could open things up just a little bit here. That is the engineer down, so not really the worst of classes to lose, but now it's looking bad with WQs. That is the worst of classes to lose here. Warp comes in, but cleaned up by Alov. Now someone had to block the point, and it's Robert blocking the point before his players can get in. It's looking so good now for the side of the blokes. Last player up is SNH, unless he can go crazy. He cannot. It's a double katana for Mac, bringing it up to a 2-1 here. sammakot still leading, but it could all so quickly fall apart.
That was really a push, I've got to say. That took a long time to get working. They used the Uber, and to be fair, the only real thing I feel like they've looked decent got out their Uber was they got the gun down and they got positioning. That was it. They didn't catch any kills, they didn't catch too much damage either. They just got Mac on this right hand side and was just spamming stickies across, and Mac did great work that entire fight, but they were still not able to get much captain, not able to find frags, and eventually the post fight just works out well for them, but took a lot of time, and now with 2 minutes 50 seconds left, they have to be pushing themselves back into this mid as the big washing machine mid of the spiral around and continues. Silver's the first to bomb in, and this actually is looking pretty decent for Big Bloke season as well as the rotations continue.
Yeah, looking really solid. It's only that one it takes them to have to run back, but the train don't stop here as Bloke is in. Can't find anything, unfortunately, this time. Alov is taking him down handedly there, and that does reset things. At least for a second here, you don't really want to lose a second player straight away, but they're rotating it round to Valley, taking with Jordi and Mac here. And if you're not ready for this rotation to be super strong, however, Derby, who straight away is on the case here. However, last time they found a bomb that works really, really well. Warp's not in that position this time, so it doesn't look like they're instantly going to go for that bomb round. To try to get the player on flank and get a player behind and then just cause the chaos. I'm just going to kind of reset things for now. Looking like it's going to be... Oh, no. It's absolutely going to be that... It's Warp looking...
Big bomb.
Flank.
Lands to lower lobby, taken down.
But look at all this space they managed to get. They have got in deep here. However, they are going to be pincered as a player has jumped behind here. He finally has to use... But look at this, there's so many players out of this fight, there's so many players low, it's going to be a real hard-fought battle, but Robert, he just had his Uber this entire time, right, and now it should just be Jova.
Pickles is still trying to run away from everyone in lower lobby. Uber charge used out finally from Robert, and there is a bit of a wild goose chase happening kind of around this last point, cleaning up these last couple of players in lobby and in their own potential backcap threats, but a minute left to play, Pickles spawning up, there is... I guess just about time to get an Uber in, but not really. Kritzkrieg going to be up, Heavy going to be up. This is all on just barreling in as hard as they can and trying to do as much damage as they can. The one thing they've got going for them here over Big Bloke Season is Robert won't have an Uber charge in time. We'll get it eventually and we'll have them before the end of the game, but not initially, so they can get in a bit without having the threat of an Uber exploding in their face. But 35 seconds left. Big Bloke Season, there's a date with a demo night. 35 seconds away from this. They have to go in, they have to go now, and they have to try and get around on the board.
Yeah, taking this left-hand side, it's an early pick onto Silk. They have a gun to contend with Warp. Also going down to eventually get that gun, but there's just so much spam coming in, and Robert does have that Uber. Should just use it over point, make sure they don't lose the round here, but they are losing so many players. Cell is eventually going to go down as well. This Heavy focus out. SNH just trying his hardest to get this final pick onto Piggles. Just 2 soldier spawners, and it is GG, as it is Big Bloke Season. The upset coming out. They are going to be moving down into that lower bracket game against the Odin Demo Night. Oh, what a cracker. What an absolute banger end to that game as well. Making it so close there. Bringing it up to a 2-1. But eventually the underdogs of Sammakot will be making their way into that Premiership Season 49, main season here. How did you find that game, Ben?
That was a wild ride. That was like a real tale of 3 different maps. Like all 3 just played so differently. Like we had the slow like flip floppy style on Metalworks. Process was honestly just domination from Sammakot, and then this was. Sammakot, they just made their chances count, and they made them count early, right? Like 2 rounds in 5 minutes, I think, at the start of the game before that tactical pause came in, and then Sammakot were just, they were in cruise control from there. But we saw Big Bloke Season, they had so many chances on last, so many Uber ads, so many catching the medic, causing a force, getting in with advantage players, getting in with great situations, and just not being able to convert good situations into points on the board. And that's what matters. It's like we can sit here and see, look, there was 3, 4 Uber ad pushes into last for Big Bloke Season, 1 round coming off it. Like against a team like Sammakot, that you can't win like that.
Yeah, just felt like they had such a solid last hold, right? I saw them just try and fail so many times. They kind of just knew where to position themselves, and they were having real troubles with that Pyro in the end of things. And talking about the Pyro player, it was Alov most of the time, going 28-5. What a stellar performance. That is a pocket scout game and a half. I mean, this man is showing that he deserves to be in Prem. He definitely has the DM for it, and SNH, along with him, having a great game with 22 kills on that flank scout as well. And he was making a lot of space for his team, getting in behind, doing some funny business overall. And then, it's just a bit sad to look at those soldiers. Are just not really able to get involved and engaged in any of the fights. It felt like their only job was to try to get in and get the medic, and that's all they were allowed to do that game. Poor Warp to Blatant. There was just so much focus fire that they just did not have a good game. 24 deaths for poor Blake in 30 minutes. That's a rough one.
Yeah, and a lot of it we're seeing, right, is like not exactly doing anything wrong. He just bombs in and has 5 people shooting at him. It's like, well, Yeah, this is sort of your job is as pocket soldier to some extent, but yeah, taking it so much flack from everyone on the server. In particular, those 2 scouts over from Sammakot. We called out earlier after the Metalworks map, if you remember, because on Metalworks they were playing pretty well, and then to go on to Process and Sunshine, and then they just absolutely exploded from there. Yeah, great performances from these 2 scouts, and a really well earned position into
Yeah,
the
I don't.
Premiership season 49.
You look at this, and this talks the tale of those advantages you were looking at. Robert dropped 3 times on last. All 3 of those, I'm pretty sure, were on last. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and how you don't convert from 3 drops and only getting 1 round from it is tragic. 1 drop from Piggles. The last drop was literally that last second. He was getting
Yeah, we're
Uber
not counting
sold. This
that one.
Krieg, it doesn't count. So yeah, only dropping once, but the Medigun's then even. So just not really able to get too much more outside of those Uber drop situations. Unfortunately for the side there. But yeah, it was a close one. It was a nail biter, especially that first and last map there. That was such a messy game, though. I can't remember a game that I've seen that's been that crazy with some of the push, and I just have no idea what's going on. But
So much
yeah,
dry fighting, so much like just one pick up into Lashes thinking, or even sometimes not one pick up, just they've got better heals or better positioning. They're thinking, you know what, we're just going to push in, we're going to not fear, we're just going to walk in with our demo man, with our combo, and just spam and just see what happens. And yeah, sometimes it didn't work, but a lot of the time it did. These
I mean
teams made it really good.
yeah, that's the TF2 we want to see, though, right? We're quite happy seeing good TF2 like that. But it is Sammakot making their way into Prem, and it will be BIGBLOKESZN season later on this week, fighting against Aware, their demo night team, hoping to make Prem. If they do lose that, they're out of the contention. They'll be pushed down all the way down to Div 1, and that is exactly is not what they want, basically.
There's some good teams in that lower bracket. There's some really good teams in that lower bracket. It's not going to be an easy fight. It's not like, we're obviously looking at some of the star players on this team of BIGBLOKESZN. It's not a dead cert that they get through that lower bracket at all. There's some very good players on some of those teams. But yeah, that's a story for later on this week. And as we're seeing on screen now, there's a few other things going on this week. And it's not just the ETF2L qualifiers happening. There's also Poland qualifiers, and there's also Essential Intelligence happening, which I believe you're going to be involved with, not Stephen,
I am.
over
Well, I mean,
on
one of those
Friday.
casted games as well, so it's going to be an interesting one as well. But yeah, definitely coming for that Essentials Intelligence. We have, 5 guests in this one, along with me and Wandom, yapping about absolutely everything. Poland, the E2F2L coming season, and some maybe surprises for Fizzgun Denver. So do make sure that you're tuned in for that one. But any final words from you, Ben?
No, I think it's going to be, honestly, this season is going to be fantastic. And honestly, if the games in the real season are like this, I am so for it. Because this was, I know it was a long one, it was like almost 2 hours for the whole game. But this was absolutely worth every minute. Fantastic game. Well played, Sammakot. And good luck to BIGBLOKESZN in that lower bracket, because there's some good teams there. They might well need it. So we'll see you all later on this week for the remainder of the Poland qualifiers and potentially some more ETF12 action.